but kind of interesting. It's Bart and Carlin, ESPN New York. Dan Graca is in for Bart today. Dan has a couch coming. There is much debate as to what time that couch is going to show up. There has been some discussion as to whether or not we should be wagering on what time there is a knock at its door. Purchased a new couch from Raymore and his good friend Flanagan, and they will be stopping by the estate at some point today, potentially within the next hour from what we're told. That's what our latest information is. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning. How are you? You sound fantastic. You look fantastic. And yes, do you want an updated ETA? Because it's different from the one that I gave you 3 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. I would like that. The one we got 3 minutes ago from the Raymore and Flanagan app was 10:37 a.m.
Correct.
With your new couch. What is it now?
We are now being pushed back by 4 minutes. So we are now looking at a 10:41, and we are 2 stops away.
2 stops away.
As I speak, another pushback, 10:45.
You're not going to see this thing before Sunday.
I might have to make plans for, the big 4th of July 250 bash on somebody else's couch at this rate.
Don't you dare bail on me for tonight because of this thing. I better see you down at Caesars Sportsbook at Monmouth Park tonight, and we better see all of you there as well for Game 2, a little watch party situation. Let's just start there for a second. I want to let everybody know this, and I'm going to tell you this 15 times today, but I don't care. Just deal with it and show up because we've got Knicks Game 3 tickets that we are giving away tonight at Caesars Sportsbook at Monmouth Park. And Dan and I will be down there, and we will be down there with John Wallace and Kurt Thomas.
That's right.
And the first 100 fans get a free Shack burger and fries. Then we've got an official Knicks playoff T-shirt, which, Dan, I'm told, is the actual T-shirt that will be given away Monday night at Game 3 that's put on the seats. So you're getting that 2 days in advance.
Really?
You're getting that 2 days before anybody else.
You may not even need a ticket for Game 3. I mean, tickets are hard to come by, as we know. I mean, I heard that they cost a couple of bucks. So if you can't make it out to the game on Monday, you can make it down to Caesars at Monmouth tonight. You get yourself the T-shirt, and you get to hang out with us and a couple of former Knick greats. How about that?
Yeah, we're going to have a blast. And so we're giving away 2 100-level seats for Game 3 at halftime of the game. It's open to Caesars Sportsbook customers only. So what does that mean? All you got to do is, if you're not, sign up right now. Bring your app for entry. Our doors open at 7 o'clock. Get there early. Space is limited. Caesars.com/Knicks Finals. Remember, you got to be 21 or older to gamble, Dan. I don't know if you knew that. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Business out of the way. We saw each other briefly yesterday.
Brief exchange.
Listened to some of your show yesterday, filling in for Mr. K. As we get closer and closer to Game 2, as I hear more and more from the Spurs, as I hear more and more from the Knicks, I'm feeling better and better about the Knicks' chances tonight to actually go up 2-0. Am I an idiot for feeling that way?
No. I mean, and you alluded to the show yesterday, and just after one game, and I know you don't like to make any bold proclamations, at least not me, after just one game, because it's still a best of 7.
No, I like to be as irresponsible as possible.
Right, and nobody's going to remember, nobody's going to call you out, hold you accountable on any of those things.
Well,
right.
Why do you think I'm in this? I've never been interested in being held accountable for a damn thing.
But you add up all these things, and we've watched this team, certainly for the last 6 weeks, beat every single team that is put in front of them. You saw the way that game unfolded back on Wednesday night, and you just get the feeling, and I think that, look, I think it's more geared towards being pro-Knicks than it's anything anti-Spurs, but I think it's safe to say that if the Knicks win this game tonight, I have zero doubt whatsoever, you could start planning the parade. The series is over if they win tonight, because 13 straight wins, you'll be up 2-0 in the NBA Finals, taking both games on the road, where ordinarily you would settle for a split, right? But in this case, I think you get greedy. Because the way this team has been going, Chris, if they are able to take that 2-0 lead, coming back home to an absolute madhouse for games 3 and 4, a team that hasn't lost a game since April the 23rd, do you really think that all of a sudden they're going to go in a tailspin and lose 4 out of the next 5?
I don't expect that to happen.
No. So you in essence, and I don't want to, make Knicks fans go crazy today. Tonight's game is essentially checkmate, the way I look at it.
Yeah. I understand that thought process. I have been of the opinion all along that the Spurs are the best team that the Knicks have faced. And I don't think that's a reach by any stretch. I, after the other night, was thinking that, as everybody is, that the Knicks are going to get the Spurs' best punch tonight. When the Knicks have had to sustain somebody's best punch over the last few weeks, they've been able to respond every time.
Right.
So why would I think that would be any different now? Why would I think that all of a sudden the confidence with which they are playing is going to be overcome in adverse moments where, frankly, in addition to blowing teams out, anytime they've been in an adverse moment, there's never been any sense of panic about anything they're doing. Down 14 the other night, the Knicks' heartbeat right now is pretty much nice and even and flat and sitting right at 60, right?
As it should be. And I think that they take their lead from their point guard, obviously, because, I mean, he exudes that. Like, yesterday was funny. Like, they did the media availability between games 1 and 2. They're all sitting there answering the questions, and one of the outlets posted, like, a still of Brunson at the podium. You would have thought that the Knicks lost game 1 by 50, that his dog got run over by a bus. Like, he looked miserable. But that's just focus. That's just locked in. And we've seen that from this player and this team for how long now, right? And real quick, I'm glad you mentioned the best punch analogy. Because I even talked about that yesterday. Like, all right, after game 1 against Philadelphia, we said, all right, was that their best punch? We'll find out. Obviously, it didn't matter to the Knicks. Cleveland, when the Knicks had to rally from 22 down in game 1, we wondered, was that the Cavs' best punch? If it was, Knicks still dug themselves a sizable hole, still came back, won the game. Now we're going to find out tonight if what you saw from San Antonio on Wednesday was the Spurs' best punch in this series. And if it was, it's going to be a pretty short series again.
Well, there are a few things that work for me. First of all, to your point, let's hear a little bit from Jalen Brunson about his game 1 performance the other night and exactly what he had to say about it. Here he is.
Saw a lot of different things. I thought I shot some shots that I normally make. Probably had a couple bad ones as well. But it's all about how you move forward and all about how you kind of respond in a positive way. So no matter what's going on, just trying to stay positive, still trying to find a way to win.
Still trying to stay positive, still trying to find a way to win? Like, I mean, your point is well made when you hear that. That's number one. Then I've got a little clip this morning. And, Tom, do we have it from Jalen with Malika Andrews? We do. Apparently, and I did not realize this until I saw it this morning on social media, Jalen, and as they will do on TV in starting to promote the finals and for all the little cutaways and things like that, they will want video of different players and coaches and so with the Larry O'Brien trophy.
Yep.
Malika Andrews asked him about that because apparently he's not doing that or willing to go even in the same room as the trophy. Take a listen to this.
The Larry O'Brien trophy is everywhere. It's ever present. It's on the set. It's next to the court. It's in rooms that you're asked to go and shoot promotional videos with. But you wouldn't go in. You didn't want to be near the trophy. Why?
How'd you hear about that?
I know what's happening.
No comment.
Comment after maybe the Larry O'Brien trophy's in reach?
No comment.
Yeah, and it was long pauses there in between that we cut out there just to shorten that up a bit. So this guy right now is so locked in, it's not even funny, to illustrate your point even further.
Yeah, 100%. And look, I mean, he's not the first and won't be the last athlete to kind of not touch the prize until it's his. Hockey players, that's a long-standing superstition in hockey.
Really, have we? Maybe with Kobe. That's about it.
Maybe, but like hockey players don't touch the Stanley Cup until it's theirs. Teams that win their respective conference championships won't touch the conference championship trophy because that's not the ultimate prize, right? So, I mean, this is a time-honored thing a little bit, but I think it's beneficial certainly for the Knicks having a guy like this and everything trickles down from him, the message that he's conveying, the way that he acts, and you see everybody else kind of following that lead. Even Carl Anthony Towns after that game on Monday night, what was he saying? Lock in. Even, that video that they showed of Cat and Jalen at the end of the Cleveland series. Cat was saying to him, four more. Like, no time to celebrate. Like, we saw the respective teams, how they each celebrated their respective conference championships. Knicks, it was, all right, on to the next one. San Antonio, they were acting like they won the whole thing when they beat Oklahoma City. Wemby is crying. Wemby's like falling over on his teammates. Like they thought that they just won everything. So to each his own.
Because it's just been a time-honored tradition that Wemby-Chet Holmgren rivalry has just taken over America. And that was the greatest story ever known. I mean, come on. But Dan, I think about these couple things, what you just addressed there. I think about a comment like this from Stefan Castle about when he was asked if he thinks that the Spurs are in any kind of peril or danger, or frankly, are they still the better team here?
Most of our first time being in the finals, so obviously a big moment for a lot of us. Obviously we're overly excited to, get out there and play. So that could definitely be a part of it. But we've been down in a series before. I think Coach Mitch said it best. I mean, really all playoffs is taking us more than a half to get settled into a game. So just trying to be ourselves. I mean, I think Vic said it best. I don't think we have anything to be too worried about. I mean, obviously we feel like we're the better team and we didn't play well. We still had a chance to win. So, I mean, if we take one thing from that, just going back to being ourselves and focusing on the right things.
I just want to compare the difference here between the Knicks and the Spurs in the mentality. The Spurs sound like a younger team. They sound like a team that believes in their ability, and there's nothing wrong with that, has a little bit of arrogance to what they're trying to do. And I understand why Wembanyama and the Spurs think that they're the better team. The Knicks are not even thinking in those terms. They are leaning on the experience of the last few years and this gradual process to get here. And that mentality for me is leaning me toward picking the Knicks to go up 2-0 tonight.
I don't want to be disrespectful to San Antonio. And it seems like anytime you're, praising one side, it seems like you're knocking the other. But I think that it's fair to say that as this series goes on, I know we've only played one game, we're learning more and more about the opponent, right? Because we're covering them on a pretty much daily basis here. You hear comments like that. Here's what we do know about San Antonio, right? This is a team that had a losing record last year, right? This is a team that has a first year full-time head coach, okay, took over during the season last year. And you saw the warts and him getting exposed in that game the other night, which wasn't his finest hour, especially in the fourth quarter. This is also, I think, a little bit of arrogance here with the Spurs. And whether it's from the media, whether it's from the fan base, and I think that it's on two fronts. Number one, don't you get the sense that, in a way, you would think that we're watching a Spurs team, or the media wants to portray that we're watching a Spurs team that still has Parker, Duncan, and Ginobili and Greg Popovich on the sidelines, that this is like prime dynasty Spurs.
Yeah.
I get that sense a little bit.
Yeah. There's a mentality that their dynasty never ended.
Right, because you heard the stat, and I didn't know the stat going into the game the other night, but every time the Spurs have been in the NBA Finals, they've won Game 1. They were undefeated in Game 1. So that was the first blemish in that regard on Wednesday night, which doesn't mean anything. The second part of it is, I just seem to think that because the Spurs beat the Thunder, and the Knicks only beat the Cavaliers, the Sixers, the Hawks, the fact the Spurs knocked off the defending champs, a team that most people assumed would just run it back again, winning a Game 7 on the road in Oklahoma City, that they should almost automatically be crowned the next champion. But, and we were talking about this before the show, what if now we're going to figure out that, hey, turns out maybe the Thunder weren't the best team this year. They had the MVP again, but they did get beat. And isn't there a reason that whether it's the Knicks or whether it's San Antonio, Chris, that there's going to be an 8th different champion in the last 8 years in the NBA? It's hard to run it back. So, great, you beat the best team in the NBA from 12 months ago, but that might not be the best team now. We might be watching the best team, and they play in New York City.
just because the Knicks are in the Eastern Conference doesn't mean they can't be the best team in the league.
Amen. But I think there's that prevailing thought, don't you?
Absolutely there is.
Like, oh, the East stinks. The East stinks. Because we've heard this before. Like, I know locally, like, when the Nets went to back-to-back finals with Jason Kidd, all right, the East was the inferior of the two conferences. I get it. Didn't mean they were a bad team. It's just that that's where they played. All right, they just weren't as good as the Western Conference champion that year, but it still doesn't mean that they were a bad team. Turns out, though, this might be an inferior Eastern Conference, but the Knicks still could be the best team in the NBA. The two things could be true. We'll get to the Yankees in a little bit, but not too long ago, you kind of thought the Yankees are the best team in a garbage American League. Are anybody going to say if the Yankees won a World Series this year that, well, they only won because the American League stunk? No.
No, absolutely not. And if the Knicks win a championship, it's going to have to come around to the mentality of, well, they were the best true team. You're going to hear a lot of that. You're going to hear of, like, they're the best true team because they may not have the greatest talent, comparatively speaking, but they had guys like Josh Hart and OG Anunoby and guys who played a true brand of team basketball in every which way they could over the last couple of months. I think you'll hear a lot of that. You know what the Spurs, and listen, I don't mean to date myself here.
Yeah.
But you know,
you going
what the Spurs,
Artist Gilmore on me? What are you doing?
No, not that bad, but not far. You know what they remind me of? Shaq and Penny and the Magic.
Okay.
In '95.
Yep.
They get through. Granted, there was no Jordan. They get through to the finals, and clearly felt like, as you would understand, having that level of ability with the best young player in the game and most physically dominant young player in the game, and Penny Hardaway as a great young player as well prior to his injuries, they felt like a team that could go and win the NBA championship once they got through those conference finals. They ran up against a Rockets team that, yes, had just won a title, but was also exceptionally experienced. That was the team that they added Clyde to it, and Olajuwon basically schooled Shaq and showed him what it's about. And I'm not saying it's all a direct correlation. What I'm saying is, I just feel like the Knicks' experience in all of this from the last few years and the building of the understanding of what it takes to actually get over the top, having gone through not getting there, is going to get them there this time. And I maybe, listen, Dan, I've been a sucker before, okay? I can be somebody that can be sucked in by what the vibes feel like and think it's going to go a completely different direction than it goes, and the Spurs may come out tonight and run the Knicks out of the gym, and we come back at 1-1. I have a sneaking suspicion that this is a game the Knicks can win, and here's the other thing. I'm the guy that when everybody is zigging, I'm zagging.
Yeah.
And everybody is zigging one way. The Spurs were 4.5-point favorites in game one. They're 6.5-point favorites in game two after they're opened at 5.5. In other words, everybody believes the Spurs are going to run through the Knicks tonight.
Right. It's almost too good to be true, right? You're like, how is it like this? It can't be real, right? It's not. And I think you hit it right out of the park with the Shaq and Penny stuff there with the Magic that season. I brought that up as well because remember once they beat Jordan and the Bulls, and remember that was still
did you bring
that was
this
number
up yesterday?
40.
And I didn't. Did I steal it?
No, you didn't steal it. I think that it's. I mean, you're a purveyor of NBA history, which is fine. But
okay,
that was remember.
I only listened for about 5 minutes yesterday.
Well, I think I mentioned that maybe minute 7, minute 8, somewhere around there. I have to go back and check the records. But
I'm a take
for those
stealer.
for those that weren't around back then, that Jordan was number 45 during that playoff run. Okay, because he had come back out of quote unquote retirement. In March, he was not himself. Not prime Jordan. And so they got picked off in the second round by Shaq and Penny and Horace Grant, his old teammate in the Orlando Magic. So people thought, all right, once they knocked off the Bulls, then this is like their coronation. Well, they ran into the defending champion Rockets, who, Hakeem taught Shaq a lesson and so on and so forth. You could also make the comparison between, if things continue to go this way for San Antonio, what about LeBron's first trip to the finals with Mike Brown as his head coach in 2007? When the Cavs, they beat a championship caliber Pistons team in the conference finals. They weren't the defending champs, but that team had just won a title a couple of years before that. And then they went to the finals and ironically got swept by the San Antonio Spurs, by Duncan and his buddies. So is this Victor Wembanyama's intro to the NBA Finals, to where he's 22 years of age and he had this great win? His team had a great win in the conference finals. They get to the finals and, they're going to get a little bit of a lesson that the more experienced team, the veteran team, is what ultimately is going to play out here on the biggest stage. Maybe we're 3 wins away from that happening.
I kind of think that we might be. And I'm honestly, listen, I understand how talented the Spurs are. And I think this is an organization that is headed for being a great organization over the next several years if they can keep all of these guys together. And they'll be right back into a Spurs dynasty as they were before. I firmly believe that.
But
it just may not be time yet.
Isn't it interesting, though, because I keep going back again to the coaching thing. And I thought during the season, Mitch Johnson did a great job with this team. Over the course of 82 games, a team that had a losing record last year, a young group, getting them to 60 wins, great job. That's a tremendous job in over the course of a long season. But why is it, Chris, you notice that it felt like months that we had leading up to this finals, breaking down the series from every which angle, all the different keys, the X factors, all that stuff. How come the coaching matchup was something that, and look, I'll take the hit for this. Why didn't we talk about that maybe a little bit more than we should, right? Because Mike Brown certainly has been, a guy who at times during the season was criticized tremendously. We know that. But he has turned out to be the one that's going to have the last laugh here with the way that he has called the audible during the postseason, how this team flipped the switch in the Atlanta series. But we didn't talk about Mike Brown, Mitch Johnson at all going into this series. And at least in game number 1, the coach with the inexperience, that played itself out, I think, on the big stage the other night. He didn't help the Spurs by any stretch.
No, he hurt them. He hurt them by sticking with De'Aaron Fox. He should have left Harper in the game with the way it was playing. And how about this now? Here's the other stupid thing.
Yeah.
Dylan Harper, and I know this is so silly to be talking about, but it's a thing. Dylan Harper apparently reposted a TikTok video that was making fun of how bad De'Aaron Fox played the other night. Dylan, listen, we both love him. Rutgers guy. What are you doing? What? That's pretty silly. That's a pretty dumb mistake right there. There's no reason to cause any strife among your own team and a little stupid drama in the mix of trying to win a championship. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and say that's why they're going to lose, but none of it helps. And when you clearly established yourself as the player that you did the other night, why would you do anything like that? Why wouldn't you just lay low? I think it's just a 20-year-old kid who's remarkably inexperienced and doesn't understand what he's doing when he does things like that.
Now, I didn't see this, so I'm just going by what you're saying. Now
so the video is basically De'Aaron Fox doing his best playoff James Harden imitation in game 1. That's how that was positioned.
Number one, I don't know what the relationship is like between De'Aaron Fox and Dylan Harper. Okay.
Right.
Is it, if it's almost like a big brother, little brother type thing, is this kind of like playful, jab at my big brother? Or is it the passive aggressive that we see a lot from the athletes, like, oh, you had me on the bench in favor of this guy, here's what I'm going to draw attention to even more. You know what I mean? Like, which of the two is it?
I think it's immaturity and, that. I think it's more that. Because how many times do you see publicly, unless guys are sitting next to each other in a press conference or something like that, on social media, where they will take playful jabs at one another.
Right.
You just lost game 1, and you're pointing out that the guy you're competing with was awful. That's not the time to be having the playful jabs with one another. And it feels like if you're going to do that, that's more of a behind-the-scenes quiet, send him a text kind of thing.
But you know what? If that's the case, you're a Knicks fan. You're loving this right now. You're loving this.
Absolutely.
It's
great. Let them be the more immature team in every way.
Let the internal strife fester here for San Antonio, right? Because, again, look, I don't know if it's necessarily coming from the team itself, but I've talked about this over the last few days. I don't know if you guys have gotten a sense, and I know you were off for a few days there, but the fan base from San Antonio, and look, they've got a trophy case full of bling, okay? But it's happened over the course of 25 years. They are an extremely cocky bunch.
Yes,
I mean an extreme. Like I said, because you would have thought them beating Oklahoma City, you would have thought that they beat the Dream Team.
Yep.
Right. You would have thought like they were Angola, except they didn't lose by 65. They actually beat the Dream Team.
And Angola, like, I'm going to the 95 Magic, and you're going to Angola in 92.
The reason I'll tell you why I go Angola. Because
Barkley?
for those that, by the way, shout out Angola. So,
I know somebody who went on vacation to Angola recently. Said it's gorgeous. Yes.
Is it? Okay.
Apparently. I haven't been there myself, but
I'm going to have to put that on the bucket list one day. But, remember, the lead up to the Olympics in 92, the Dream Team. Like, the matchups were set, months in advance, and all we knew was that we were going to see the greatest talent of basketball players ever assembled on one team. Couldn't wait to see them on the floor. And we all had that first game circled, Angola. So it's like they were the chosen whipping boys for the Dream Team the first game. That's why the Angola thing rings true. And they beat them by, like I said, was it 50 or 60 points or whatever?
Yeah, it was something like that. And I remember Barkley making some kind of a joke about Angola.
Well, now, the Angola tourism did not take off in 1992 like where it is now in 2026.
I'm telling you, I'm just going on what I've told.
Beautiful destination.
It's beautiful. Meanwhile, I feel like Bart here for a second because I got distracted by the TV.
Yeah.
I turned on, I'm watching, First Take is just on the screen in my office here.
No French Open semis? I'm surprised.
No, not locked in on it today.
Okay.
Never been a big Clay guy. I don't know. Anyway, Iman Shumpert has no jacket on and is wearing suspenders that makes it look like it's a suspenders that has like a gun holster. It makes him look like a Law and Order detective in an office getting ready to play the role of bad cop.
So what you're saying is that he could be packing on First Take.
It looks if you see what I'm talking about, it looks like it. You know what? I'll take a picture of it and post it. How about that?
Because when you said suspenders, my mind was, are we talking Hillbilly Jim suspenders?
No.
Not the dungarees?
Well, those are overalls. Those aren't suspenders.
What's the difference between overalls and dungarees? They're not the same thing?
No, dungarees can be dungarees is another word for jeans, I think. That's the way I was always brought up to believe it. And overalls are, they have the overalls.
I thought those were like jean, too, like denim.
They are denim as well, yes.
Don't go messing with the country boy.
Have you ever owned a pair of overalls?
I got to be honest with you. I think in my formative years, I might have had a pair. I'm talking pre-10, maybe.
Yeah.
But not since then, no.
Yeah, this is no, I don't think I ever did. And if I did, that would have been a sure trip to the Husky section for young kids.
Correct me if I'm wrong, another proponent of the overalls, or the dungarees, was Ernest P. Worrell, right?
Bart and Carlin. Dan Grassa in for Bart today on ESPN New York and on the ESPN New York YouTube channel. So we are locked in on your comments today about the game tonight. How are you feeling about game 2? Is this go and get it? Have you already had mission accomplished, got game 1, and now we come back home and you're okay? Or is this, no. Let's get greedy. Let's get after it. It's Bart and Carlin, ESPN New York, with you on the ESPN New York YouTube channel as well.
People are outside walking around and going to games, barbecues, the beach, doing their own thing. But if you're dealing with joint pain, back pain, or sciatica, that can shut you down real quick. I'm Bart Scott, and I'm telling you, go see my guy, Dr. J. Shah, at Samwell Pain. He's the guy to see. He's Ivy League trained, double board certified, no cuts, no long recovery, no relying on pain meds. Just non-surgical, image-guided procedures that get real results. Same-day and next-day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. Don't let pain steal your summer. Go to SamwellPain.com. Get right, get tight, get back to living the life you deserve.
The Knicks.
Brunson's open, right corner, three-pointer. It's good! Jalen Brunson puts the Knicks in front with a clutch three-pointer. 1:50 to go. They're up by 2.
The Spurs.
They've won a 12th consecutive playoff game and have stolen Game 1 of the NBA Finals.
The Knicks are 3 wins away. NBA Finals Game 2 coverage gets underway tonight at 7 on 880 and the ESPN New York app.
If you think a new central air conditioning system is out of your budget, think again. Slomin's is here to change the game with their preseason super sale. They're now offering cutting-edge 18-SEER 2026 refrigerant-compliant R45-4B systems expertly installed by their certified technicians, all at the lowest prices of the year. That's right. Get started with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. Plus, they're including a comprehensive service plan for 5 years, including annual system checks, filter replacement, and refrigerant to keep your AC running smoothly all summer long. Call Slomin's today at 516-932-7000 for your free estimate. But hurry, these cool savings won't last. That's 516-932-7000 or visit ac.slomans.com. 18-month promo period, no payment, no interest, and no down payment offer. The offer is available through a third-party bank. On approved credit, interest is waived if loan is repaid in full during the same as cash period. Terms and conditions apply.
In Queens, heavy traffic on the southbound Cross Island Parkway by Northern Boulevard, an accident blocking one lane. Northern State Parkway eastbound by Post Avenue, a crash, left lane blocked. In New Jersey, westbound Route 3 very slow past the Parkway after Route 46. That's construction work. And the Parkway, Garden State Parkway, has a crash down by Clark at exit 135. One lane closure backed up past exit 138. Law enforcement torch run for New Jersey Special Olympics throughout New Jersey today. Many local legs making their way down to Trenton for the opening ceremony for the games tonight. So just be careful with your driving. It's all under 10-minute delays. Lincoln and Holland tunnels and George Washington Bridge right now. I'm Bob Williams on 880 ESPN New York.
From your neighborhood stop to the city and back, New Jersey Transit keeps your day moving. Reliable, convenient, and ready when you are. We're on this ride together. So keep aisles clear, use headphones, and be mindful of fellow riders. Small actions make a big difference, especially during travel times. New Jersey Transit. Ride together, ride better. Plan your trip at njtransit.com.
I'd finally have time to reread my favorite fantasy book.
Dig deeper. We're imagining winning the New York lottery here.
Okay, I'd build my own reading nook right where the sun hits.
You're getting warmer.
The French sun. I'll buy a villa in Marseille. Wait, what's the French word for sun?
I don't know, Kathy. You're the reader.
Okay, I'll hire a tutor to learn the French word for sun, then the words to negotiate real estate, then I'll buy my own French library.
And to think you just wanted to reread a book. New York Lottery. Can you imagine? Play today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Hey, New York and New Jersey. Boost Mobile has an unlimited talk, text, and data plan that's only $25 a month forever. Meaning you'll only ever pay $25 a month for the rest of your life. Who wouldn't want unlimited wireless when it only costs $25 a month forever? If you don't, you must be one of those people who enjoy overpaying for their phone plan. $25 a month forever is truly as good as it gets. So go online and switch now at boostmobile.com. After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan.
Programming alert. Today's Mets-Padres game can be heard on 1050 ESPN at 9 p.m. Game 2 of the NBA Finals can be heard on 880 ESPN New York at 7 p.m. And all games can be streamed on the ESPN New York app.
When's the last time payroll was the easy part of your week? With Gusto, it can be. Gusto is the all-in-one platform designed to take the hassle out of managing your team, from payroll and compliance to hiring, onboarding, and more. With Gusto, you can get back 2 full days each month with all the time you have saved. Go to gusto.com today and learn why over 500,000 small businesses choose Gusto. That's Gusto.com. Gusto.com.
Evan Cohen here. In life, as in sports, the pros make it look easy. That's why pro golfers like Jason Day, Ben Griffin, and Patton Kazire trust the pros in lawn care. True Green. They have the experience and expertise to give you a lawn worthy of the PGA Tour. And since True Green does the work for you, you get more free time, or more tee times. So stop stressing over your lawn and start loving it. Sign up now at TrueGreen.com because nobody makes it easier to get a golf course quality lawn than True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour.
I hate to say it, Dan. I'm in. Just put it down. Knicks on the money line tonight.
Knicks on the money line?
Plus 188.
Now,
Plus
let me ask you a question.
188.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah. I'm not wagering all that much these days. I'm not wagering often at the moment.
Right.
But I'm feeling it.
Now, if you were, I don't know, thinking about maybe making an official wager on the game tonight, can you think of any place, or maybe the best possible place, if you were going to go to another establishment to place such a wager?
That would be at the Caesar Sportsbook at Monmouth Park.
Really?
Where
you don't
you
say.
and I will be tonight. And you have to be a Caesar Sportsbook member and have the app on your phone in order to get in and watch the game tonight with us. We've very limited space. But here's the deal. Dan and I are going to be down there tonight beginning at 7 o'clock for a little watch party. Caesar Sportsbook, Monmouth Park, exclusive Knicks Finals watch party. We've got wall-to-wall screens. Dan and I, Knicks legends John Wallace, along with Kurt Thomas, and you get the official Knicks playoff T-shirt that they're going to be giving away at Game 3 Monday night, 2 days in advance. First 100 fans also get a free Shaq burger and fries. And if you stay until halftime, here's the best part. You could win a pair of 100 level tickets to Game 3 at Madison Square Garden.
Really?
So the game where you will be sitting, you will not be spending $7,000 just to get into the building. Okay? You will be sitting in the 100 level. We're going to be giving away a pair of tickets tonight with that at halftime. So you got to be there. It's open to Caesar Sportsbook customers only. Sign up now. Bring your app for entry. Doors open at 7 o'clock. Space is limited. Learn more. Visit Caesars.com/Knicks Finals. And remember, you got to be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. And in New York, 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369er. All right.
I can only imagine, by the way, I mean, I'm sure we could check this out. Secondary market-wise, how much you think a pair of 100-level tickets are going for that?
Oh, I looked yesterday for Game 3.
Yeah.
The cheapest ones were $18,000 per ticket.
Per.
Per.
And that doesn't even come with a burger or something like that.
There's no Shaq burger for the first 100 fans. I'll look again right now. We'll pull up TickPick and see what they say.
Come again?
When I was looking at it yesterday, it was over on the StubHub there. But yeah, Knicks Game 3. That's coming up Monday night. Cheapest ticket right now appears to be. We're going to go to 2 tickets. We're going to go 100 level. Correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
100 level.
That's what we're giving away.
I could see you, Dan, right now behind the basket, section 112.
Okay.
I can get you seated for $12,569.
Now that's just a solo ticket, you're saying?
No. That's 2 tickets.
Oh, that's
per
a pair.
Ticket. No. It's $12,569 per ticket.
Yeah.
But it is 2 tickets. You don't have to buy one solo. Now, if you wanted to just get 1 ticket, we could look at that too. Cheapest one that I can find appears to be $13,275. And that's over in section 112 as well.
$13,000 to go to a basketball game.
What is, we asked this question yesterday, Dan, what is the max to watch your team? And I don't know what championship would mean the most to you as a fan of the teams that you are a fan of?
Probably the football one, I would say.
The Jets?
Yeah.
What is the most that you would personally spend to be in the building to witness them winning a championship?
It's let's put it this way.
I would just say, when I say that to you, not just ticket cost, whether you want to just go ticket cost, that's fine. How much are you willing to spend in general?
I think that when you say the height, because it's different now. Like at the height of my fandom when I was younger, probably, but now it's a little bit different. I mean, thankfully, knock on wood, if they ever
your spirit's broken now.
Yeah,
you're dead inside now.
Well, I would be there first and foremost, like working the game, which is cool. But
it's not the same as a fan. Like, you can't sit there and root.
No. But
you'd have better access to them.
Better access. And
let me take that back, Dan. I can seat you right now in
you're changing it.
102 for $12,270. And that's in row 17.
Oh, now you brightened up my day. $12,270. So I could use some of that other money and put it towards something else.
Exactly. That's $2,000 I'm saving you right there.
Like a new sofa.
Speaking of which, are they there yet? It's 10:41.
By the way, let's check that out. What would I spend? I mean, obviously, inflation and all those other things. It's 11 minutes. We're looking at 11 minutes right now.
Okay.
That's a good question. I mean, probably no more.
If you want to think about it, you can, and we'll come back to it in a moment.
10?
$10,000?
Yeah.
For just the ticket, or for everything that's involved in going?
Everything.
Yeah.
I'm almost looking at it as if it's like a vacation.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I can see that.
Because you're going to have flight, hotel, ticket. Yeah, I would say no more than probably 10.
Yeah, I would probably spend, I said yesterday 5, but I was thinking only for ticket. I would probably, now I've been fortunate enough that I've actually experienced that as a Steeler fan. But knowing what the experience was, it was well worth it.
Yeah. And to some fan bases, no matter what who you root for, I mean, that could be a once in a lifetime.
Yes. Yes. And as a Jet fan, like, if you had, it would be unimaginable what those ticket prices would be if the Jets were in the Super Bowl, in a game in which people really felt like they had a chance to win.
Well, that's why we said with this Knicks in the NBA Finals and the astronomical ticket prices, I said the only thing that would be above this would be if the Jets ever got to a Super Bowl.
It's Bart and Carlin, ESPN New York, and on the ESPN New York YouTube channel. Don't forget programming alert. Today's Mets-Padres game can be heard on 1050 ESPN. Pregame starting at 9 p.m. Game 2 of the NBA Finals between the Knicks and Spurs can be heard on 880 ESPN New York. Tip-off at 8:30. Pregame starting at 7. And all games can be streamed with the ESPN New York app. We have so much coming on your calls next at 800-919-3776 and on the ESPN New York YouTube chat.
The Knicks.
Brunson's open, right corner, three-pointer. It's good! Jalen Brunson puts the Knicks in front with a clutch three-pointer. 1:50 to go. They're up by 2.
The Spurs.
They've won a 12th consecutive playoff game and have stolen Game 1 of the NBA Finals.
The Knicks are 3 wins away. NBA Finals Game 2 coverage gets underway tonight at 7 on 880 and the ESPN New York app.
Listen up. Fanatics Fest returns to the Javits Center July 16th through the 19th for 4 days of nonstop action right in the middle of the biggest sports weekend of the summer. See more than 500 athletes and celebrities, including Aaron Judge, Kevin Durant, Jalen Brunson, Jay-Z, Travis Scott, and hundreds more. All at the world's #1 sports fan festival. Tickets are on sale now. Grab yours before they're gone at fanaticsfest.com.
In New York City, young men of color deserve every opportunity to succeed. The NYC Young Men's Initiative is investing in futures through education, workforce development, healthcare, and justice programs designed to uplift and empower. And through programs like the Cooney Fatherhood Academy, we're supporting young fathers and building brighter futures for themselves and their families. Visit nyc.gov/YMI programs or at NYC Young Men on all socials to learn more.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes Oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch, Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code ADVANCE to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code ADVANCE to borrow up to $10,000. Use code ADVANCE to borrow up to $10,000.
Programming alert. Today's Mets Padres game can be heard on 1050 ESPN at 9 p.m. Game 2 of the NBA Finals can be heard on 880 ESPN New York at 7 p.m. And all games can be streamed on the ESPN New York app.
New York, you need to hear this. This summer, all lines lead to Champ Sports Fan Central Station, a soccer pop-up shop open right in the heart of the city, 125 West 33rd Street. This is the soccer destination in New York. Jerseys for every national team that you ride with, USA, Mexico, Argentina, Brazil, and way more, all under one roof. If you want to gear up, rep your country, and feel the energy of the city, Champ Sports Fan Central Station, 125 West 33rd Street. That is where you need to be. It is Bart and Carlin, ESPN New York, on the ESPN New York YouTube channel, 800-919-3776. Let's start with David and Elizabeth today on ESPN New York. D, what's going on?
What up, Dan? What up, Chef? Man, it's been a wild series so far, even though it's only been game one. It's game two tonight. I don't know. Like, here's the thing. We won a sloppy game in game one. They got to play a lot better tonight. But you do know that the Spurs are going to give their hardest uppercut and their hardest bolo towards us. So they just need to weather that storm, man. It's going to be like Punch-Out. Wait till they put up the fist and then just keep hitting the X until you get them down. That's how I view it, man. Tonight's a must-win. I hope that they play, team good camaraderie ball like they've been playing. And I hope that Mike Brown has a good counter because they're gonna come out swinging, man. They're not trying to go down 0-2. So we'll see what happens, man. Gentlemen, I appreciate you.
Listen, I'm not going to go must-win. I'm not going to go must-win. Mm-hmm. But I am going to say, when you have the chance, step on the neck. When you have that chance. Because a team like this, with the youth, Dan, like you could do some real damage to their confidence if they're down 2-0. Like
1,000%.
They may not bounce back from that.
And believe it or not, I think that it gets to the point where not only that, we might even be talking about potentially a good old-fashioned broom with the sweep if they win tonight. Is that too out of the realm of possibility?
If they won tonight?
I would love it. I would love it, but, I mean, hey, man, let's see what happens. But I will say this, gentlemen, because you guys brought up Penny and Shaq, and I remember that, even the movie, too, Blue Chips, good movie. It's crazy because if I'm correct, Orlando only won game 3, and I remember it. And I remember one of the announcers saying that, Shaquille O'Neal isn't ready now, but when he comes back, you're in trouble. And I'm going to be honest, that announcer was 100% correct. He came back. Every time you see Shaq was putting, his stuff on people. We'll just say that.
Yep. Appreciate it, Dave. Thanks, brother. Enjoy tonight.
Dave, thanks.
You Blue Chips guy?
Oh, Blue Chips was when we did the sports movie draft. Remember?
Yeah.
Blue Chips was one of my Blue Chips ahead of its time. Of its time.
Agreed. Favorite line in that movie? Happy, the donor, screaming at Nick Nolte as he's walking away. We owe it to them.
We owe it to them. JT Walsh, no longer
That's the name
with
of
us.
that actor?
Yeah, no longer with us.
If you ever listen to Bill Simmons of the Rewatchables podcast, that's the guy who wins the That Guy award. In other words, the guy who pops up in the movie where you're not sure what his name is, but he's in a ton of different things. He's that guy.
And remember the guy, Al Bundy was the one who blew the whistle on the whole program.
He blew the top off that story. He had all those commitment letters getting faxed in all over the place. He's got pictures of Neon Bedot getting a Lexus. He's got Ricky Rowe getting a tractor. He's got the whole thing.
He bought him, Jimmy. I know he bought him.
And we're going to get him. 800-919-3776. Lenny in Brooklyn is next on ESPN New York. Leonard, what's up, baby?
Hello?
Lenny,
go.
Hey, how y'all guys doing, man?
What's up, Len?
I heard y'all was... I'm good. How y'all doing today? Everybody good?
Outstanding.
All right. Blessings, man. I called to say, I heard y'all talking earlier that San Antonio is a favorite or some stuff like that. Like, man, and we didn't play anybody, basically, everybody keeps saying. San Antonio went to Minnesota with 2 injured players. Anthony Edwards, Devin Chino. They went to OKC with Mitchell injured and Jalen injured. So they ain't playing nobody either, then we could say all that too.
I mean, you could also make that. I mean, Lenny's right? I mean, like, Oklahoma City was missing guys. Jalen Williams. I mean, that's arguably, you want to say their second or third best player. He's an all-star player. Minnesota was banged up when they played them in the second round. Yeah, you can say all those things, but all right, here you are, right? And now all that stuff doesn't matter. You've got, if you're the Spurs, you've got 6 more games to prove that all this hype and all this adulation they were throwing on Wemby and the rest of those guys, and this is their moment. Well, you got the next 6 games to prove it. You had a chance Wednesday night. It didn't work out. And all the Knicks have been doing is keeping their heads down, going about the task at hand, and they've won 12 straight games. That's hard to argue against. And Chris, like, what is it going to take? Seriously, what is it going to take before people start to give this team credit? Is it going to be 3 more wins? Is that all it's going to be? Because, I mean, if it was anybody else that has won 12 straight games en route to the NBA Finals, including a win in the NBA Finals, that would be the team that everybody wants to crown as this, one of the best teams we've ever seen.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. I think it's going to take the championship. And it's kind of disappointing that that's the case, but there is the feeling that they have played nobody. And because of that, they're in the East. Well, they're just beneficiaries of having been in the East. And They may not be that good. And as a result, they're beating teams that are just not that good along with it.
But not just beating them.
I don't buy that.
Beating them handily, right?
Yes.
I mean, like, even that game the other night, like, it's incredible. Down 14 in the third quarter. Not down 14 in the first quarter. Down 14 in the third quarter. They still end up coming back from behind and winning the game by double digits. The game they trailed Cleveland by 22 freaking points in the second half. They still came back and won that game by double digits. Like, I just...
Well, but Dan, to your point, okay?
Yeah.
There have been 4 other teams that have won 12 double-digit postseason games, and the Knicks have a chance to be the sole team with that record. In other words, they've already won 12 double-digit games.
Why do I think that if somebody like Victor Wembanyama was on the Knicks and was the number one,
we wouldn't even be talking about this. We'd be talking about why this is a blowout.
Seriously. No, I think that this team would be getting more national praise if they had more. Remember, because I still think this harkens back to, more than anything else, it's the Brunson bias. It's the Brunson bias and the Becky Hammon comments that you can't win with a small and look, history has proven that, right? Like, there just hasn't been that many teams. But you can't win if your best player is 6'2". You're not going to be able to win a championship. It's not sustainable. It's too much of a beating on the player. They're not going to be able to withstand all the rigors of a long postseason, then get to the finals. I tell you, if it was somebody else that was the lead dog on this team, the national media would be talking about this Knicks squad as an absolute just juggernaut of a basketball team.
Absolutely.
And we're not getting that yet.
Absolutely. By the way, I should mention those other 4 teams that won 12 games in the postseason by double digits, all won the title. Not surprised.
Now, the only team, if I'm not mistaken, like this run that the Knicks are on with the 12 straight wins, the only team that's won more than that is one of those Durant Warrior teams, correct?
They won 15 in a row.
Yeah.
And it was actually, they won their first 15 and then lost up 3-0 in the finals.
Right, because they decided to take the night off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the other teams that have done this are the Warriors in 2017, the Cavs in 2016, Spurs 2014, Heat 2013.
Remember those 2 years? Like, that was, like, as an NBA fan, that was not good. You know what I mean? Like, because you talk about the regular season not mattering. Like, we had that conversation the last 6 months. Like, the regular season NBA product, not great.
Yeah.
You know, with all the guys in and out of the lineup and, all the chicanery going on there. Those 2 years, though, you knew it was going to be Golden State Cleveland in the finals. It was like Wake Me in June. Nothing was going to change. There was going to be no suspense. And then once you got to the finals, those series weren't even competitive.
It keeps getting proved more and more year in and year out. And it feels like, and maybe it just feels more like it right now because we have the Knicks in it. But every year it's the same damn thing of regular season just does not matter.
It doesn't. Because you know what? Like, we're going to go back. Like, if the Knicks are able to complete this run, we're going to go back and spend the summertime probably just looking at different, like, moments during the regular season with the Knicks and how we were all set to press the panic button and this team is like the one that stands out to me, January. Remember Martin Luther King Day when like the G League version of the Dallas Mavericks came in to Madison Square Garden and like ran the Knicks off. It was like embarrassing.
Ran them
like we were crushing them.
Yeah. God, that feels like honestly 2006 at this point.
Well,
Bart and Carlin, ESPN New York. Dan Graca is in for Bart, 800-919-ESPN. Also anxiously anticipating the arrival of Dan's new couch from Raymore and Flanagan.
Oh, it might be here.
Might be here?
Might be. I think Ramon's here.
All right. Please turn on the camera, connect, and make sure that we can see that while you are directing to where that's going to be in the living room. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
Please, no, I'm serious. You can do that.
I think there might be a little too many moving parts on this one, but I'll scope it out and see how.
You know what, Dan? Why do you have to be a guy who always thinks in terms of why you can't do something as opposed to why you can?
That's true. Think about where our country and where this world would be if people said I can't instead of I can.
Well, I expect to see a couch. It's Bart and Carlin, ESPN New York.
The Knicks.
Brunson's open, right corner, three-pointer. It's good! Jalen Brunson puts the Knicks in front with a clutch three-pointer. 1:50 to go. They're up by 2.
The Spurs.
They've won a 12th consecutive playoff game and have stolen Game 1 of the NBA Finals.
The Knicks are 3 wins away. NBA Finals Game 2 coverage gets underway tonight at 7 on 880 and the ESPN New York app.
Long Island is more exciting than ever at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. This June, don't miss our midweek money rush drawing and your chance to win your share of $50,000. Be here on Wednesday, June 10th and 24th from 3 till 6 p.m. when one lucky winner will be drawn every hour to win $5,000 cash. Then at 7 p.m., one winner will take home $5,000 cash plus any unclaimed cash from the previous drawings. Come to where Long Island wins at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel.
If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Want to earn extra revenue for your business? Amazon Hub Delivery is looking for local business owners to assist with deliveries. When you become a partner, you and your staff will deliver packages to customers in your area on a schedule that works for you. With each package delivered, you'll gain extra revenue and exposure for your business. Plus, Amazon Hub Delivery makes it easy to get started. There's no upfront cost, delivery experience, or long-term contracts required. Sign up to learn more at Amazon.com/Hub Delivery. That's Amazon.com/HUB Delivery.
When care matters most, experience matters more. The Allure Group is redefining rehabilitation and long-term care across New York with 6 convenient locations. Their expert clinicians create personalized care plans to help you recover, rebuild, and get back to what matters most. From short-term rehab to long-term care, Allure is committed to comfort, dignity, and results. To learn more, visit allurecare.com. The Allure Group, where care meets compassion.
You matter, and so does your well-being. If you're facing tough moments, struggling with anxiety, depression, thoughts of suicide, or substance use, help is here anytime you need it. Call, text, or chat 988 for free confidential support. New Jersey's 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is here 24/7 for you or someone you love, with trained counselors who listen and care without judgment. You matter. Remember New Jersey's 988. A message from the New Jersey Department of Human Services.
Harry Douglas here to tell you about Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots. It's a fruity candy flavor explosion, and I mean explosion. Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots, a zero-sugar treat that's sweet tooth approved. These can take care of my candy cravings and provides a tasty caffeine kick without all the sugar. Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots. Get candy-flavored chaos with Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots. Available online at 5hourenergy.com or Amazon.
My dad passed away unexpectedly. Of course, it was awful in every way, but we are very grateful that he had life insurance. So even after he was gone, he was still able to provide for us. And that's why I have life insurance for my family. Ethos.com. They make it fast and easy to get covered. It's 100% online. You get a quote in seconds, and you can apply in minutes. You get covered the same day.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required. Rates may vary.
ESPN New York. Now streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe today and watch the show. WHSQ and WCBS FM HD2 New York.
That's right, it is, as we get ready for Game 2, Knicks and Spurs tonight at 800-919-3776, 800-919-ESPN. Also on the ESPN New York YouTube chat. I want to go over to the YouTube chat right now and talk about that for a second, get a couple of the comments in here. Deactive ACC, does anybody know if the watch party outside of MSG is going on tonight? To my knowledge, it is. I don't believe we had any issues the other night that would have stopped that from happening. Tom, if we can double check on that. I have not heard that that would not be going on tonight. I know they cleared it for Game 1. Hopefully that will be the case for this evening. I would assume that that is still going on. We will also get into some of the other things, as Eitan Tomlinson points out. The Knicks team matchups well with San Antonio. Don't understand the disrespect. The disrespect simply comes from the fact that the Knicks' road to get here, from a perception standpoint, has been much easier, and the Eastern Conference, in most of the national fans' mind who hasn't watched it enough, stinks compared to the Western Conference. And that very well might be true. But it doesn't mean the Knicks themselves aren't an excellent team and may just be a product, or not a product, but may just happen to be in the Eastern Conference while still being an excellent team, while everybody else may not be that good. Watch party at Plaza 33 is on for tonight. Also, this programming alert, tonight's Mets-Padres game can be heard on 1050 ESPN. Pregame starting at 9. Game 2 of the NBA Finals between the Knicks and Spurs can be heard on 880 ESPN New York. Tip-off at 8:30. Our pregame coverage beginning at 7, and all games can be streamed on the ESPN New York app. Bart is out today. Dan Grassa, at the moment, is having a couch delivered from Raymore and Flanagan. He has, for whatever reason, chosen to not turn on his camera while that happens. Why, I don't know. I was kind of hoping, similar to when Bart had the court date and we had the Bart cam for that, which was a big hit over on the YouTube channel, that we would have this for Dan having his couch delivered. I don't know about you. I would much rather watch Dan having his couch delivered while talking sports with you than looking at me. But that's the way it is right now on the ESPN New York YouTube chat. 800-919-3776. Let us return to the phones. We'll get more comments in as well, and we will check in with our good friend Alex, who is in Orlando, Florida, on ESPN New York. Alex, what up, big cat?
Hey, Carlin. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? I called you a good friend. We've never met. I can't remember talking to you, and I apologize for that. But what's up?
No, you're good. You're good, Carlin. I hope I become a regular because I love you, man. Real quick.
Thank you.
Wanted to say, man, whatever they're paying you at ESPN, they got to put more cheese and sour cream on the taco, like Bart would say. Just because I called in the other day, and I just spoke about a fast food restaurant in the Caribbean, and man, Bart just went on a tailspin. So, no disrespect to Bart, I love Bart. But
listen, the thing about Bart is if you hold up something shiny, you're going to distract him. And when you start talking about a fast food restaurant in the Caribbean, that's going to catch his attention and grab hold of it, and it's going to be like the jaws of life. You're going to need to get him out of it.
No, literally. No, I appreciate it. Well, real quick, I just wanted to say, so I was talked to Bart and Dan on Wednesday, I believe, before game one, and I told Dan, I was like, Dan, I think looking at the head coach over there, I mean, you're not looking at Greg Pop, you're not looking at Pop over there, and so basically I was just saying that, I'm putting a little bit more stock in the fact that we have experienced guys that have scar tissue from past losses and have learned from that. And you just look at the rhetoric on the team and how they're just hyper-focused on winning. And Jalen Brunson, man, what can I say? Yesterday I was just thinking about it, and what's his name? Alan Vaughn spoke about it on his show. He said he's just a winner. You know what I mean? Like, he's not the most skilled, but he's a winner. He knows how to win.
I don't think there's anything around that. I don't think there's any question about that, I should say. And thanks for the call. It is something that you can clearly see in the way they have played and the way that he has handled himself throughout this, that this is all he is focused on. He does not care game to game about the outcome and celebrating and any of that. Series to series, he does not care. There is one celebration that would happen. And the dude won't even go anywhere near the trophy for any promotional shoots. I mean, and granted, that happens in sports all the time, but it's just something else to kind of drive the point home about how hyper-focused he is on everything right now. So with that being the case, I really feel like the Knicks experience, it's what is breaking through right now. What has me feeling much better about game two as opposed to a normal series where I was just texting with my buddy Joe Fortenbaugh. And I said, I'm kind of feeling the Knicks tonight. What do you think? And he said, well, normally, this is the smash spot for the team in San Antonio's position. In other words, you absolutely hammer them because they're down 1-0. They're at home. They need it. And you're going to get their best punch. And as a result, you have seen that line go up to 6.5. Joe said in the text, quote, that said, I'm not, and that is in capital letters, N-O-T, betting against the Knicks right now. And I can't argue with that. 800-919-3776. Gilberto in the truck. Next, ESPN New York. Gilbert, ¿qué pasa?
Yeah, boy, you set it off, Carlin. My man with the heartbeat of New York in the palm of his hand. We don't need Grasso right now. Let him deal with his couch. Okay? We'd rather see you, Carlin. You are the heartbeat of New York, baby. You know why you feel so confident? Because in the fourth quarter, you saw big body Brunson, what Mrs. Black said, small guard. I wonder how Isaiah Thomas got 2 championships, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, you saw him coming down the fourth quarter, double team, triple team. He was going around the whole squad. Nobody can hold him. And I'm going to put one cherry on that ice cream sundae that is the Knicks right now. Delicious, beautiful, moving basketball. Guess what? On clutch time in playoff games, and this is 58 games or better. My man Brunson, clutch, is right there with Michael Jordan, and everybody else is underneath. I'm going to give you another one. Jim yesterday had that NBA show. They had Bart on there and a coach. Bart said, my man, when you want to win a championship and you've been through what disappointments you got to go through before you win the championship, you got to keep that pain in your heart. This way, new distractions, full focus, and that's exactly what you're talking about.
You know what, Gilberto? I think it's a great way to put it. You got to keep the pain in your heart. You got to keep what that felt like around and ever present. And I appreciate the call. And I think that is some of what you are seeing with Brunson right now. Some of what you are seeing with him is, and that just comes from the experience. 100% the experience that he has versus what San Antonio has, and not really fully understanding how difficult it is to win in the league and to win a championship in the league. Got a lot of young players on that team. And I'm not saying that they're not capable of doing it. They absolutely are. But right now, from an experience standpoint, from a mentality standpoint, I'm not betting against the Knicks. Absolutely not. Overall talent, San Antonio's better. Playing as a team, understanding everything that's involved here, the way that they have adapted themselves this season, the way that they changed the way they play in the middle of the playoffs and have done nothing but thrive since doing that. Nah, man, it's hard to bet against this right now. 800-919-3776, 800-919-ESPN. Soccer fans, join Don Hahn and Rosenberg for a live broadcast presented by Milagro Tequila. It's all happening Friday, June 12th. That's 1 week from today. At Plot Deutsch in Franklin Square, Long Island. Get there early. Starting at 3 p.m., grab a Milagrosa cocktail as the guys talk matchups and storylines while you get to be a part of the live, passionate soccer atmosphere. Don't miss this special live event with Don Hahn and Rosenberg Friday, June 12th at Plot Deutsch in Franklin Square, Long Island. All brought to you by Milagro Tequila. 800-919-3776, 800-919-ESPN, and on the ESPN New York YouTube chat. Dan Graca has stepped away for a moment. Do we have any update on the couch situation, Tom, as of yet? I'm a little disappointed. Dan has not turned on his phone for the camera. I'm anxious to know if the couch is in place, if there's any damage to the couch. Dan's going to inspect this thing. Well, and you always find out, like right after the fact, after that thing gets delivered, oh, look, here's a little tear that I missed.
Yeah, let's hope that's not the case, but I trust Raymore Flanagan that won't be the case.
Yeah.
I have not received...
It's not their fault. It happens.
Of course. It happened with my fridge at one point that I got from another company. So it's a circle of life. But no updates from Dan or Ramon. So if I hear from one of them, I will let you know.
Nothing from Ramon. Okay. Well, we'll keep you updated. Meanwhile, we do have the officials for tonight's game. Crew Chief, Tony Brothers. Oh, yes. He's got Josh Tiven, Tyler Ford, Mitchell Irvin, and Sean Wright will be in the replay center. Sean Wright will be in the replay center. I would imagine if the Knicks go up 3-0 we will see Scott Foster in Game 4. But that's my pure speculation at this point. Let's return to the phone lines at 800-919-3776. Black Kev out on the island, or Kev, is on ESPN New York. Hi, Kev. What's up, brother?
What's going on there, Black Chris? How you doing? Speaking Tony Brothers. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I know.
I know. Yeah, I know. All right, Chris, listen. I've changed my perspective on this thing. For the longest period of time, I was thinking like, caution is the better part of valor. Gentleman's sweep, that sounds good and all. And I really started thinking about it. I said, you know what? Maybe I need to have my Knicks think about legendary. What I mean by legendary is set yourself up for certain goals, like the way the Patriots went. The Patriots they wanted a perfect season throughout the whole thing. Didn't come that way. My Giants took care of that, but they set a goal for themselves. They attained it. All right, the Golden State Warriors set a goal for themselves to have the most amount of wins ever. Set a goal for. I forgot whether they won that was the championship year, but they set out to win as many games as they possibly can to have the most amount of regular season. Set a goal for yourself. I would not mind seeing my Knicks go for goals right now, which is one thing begets the other. If you sweep, guess what? That at the end of the pot is that at the end of that rainbow is that pot of gold, which is that championship. Go for that particular goal. Set the goal. I don't want them winning a game. We done swept 2 teams before that. Why not go for 3? Why not? Why not sit down there and see?
I think there would be, if the Knicks ran through the rest of these teams and won 15 straight en route to a championship, we already know it's one of the all-time great runs, okay? 12 double-digit wins in these playoffs, that's amazing to begin with, and that ties a record. 4 other teams that have done it have won titles. Knicks can be the first team to ever win 13 games in one playoff by double digits. If you have them run through the Spurs and win the title and lose 1 game during the entire postseason and have that level of dominance, we are talking about an all-time team. Now, they lose, it all completely falls apart. I'm sorry, Ray, what did you say, Mayor?
I'm saying they lost 2 to the Hawks.
Oh,
so
2 to the Hawks.
2.
Excuse me. Yes. It's still, it's an all-time team with a team that would go out and win 15 straight, especially in the way in which it all happened, changing the way that you play. It would be, I hate to use such a cliche phrase, the stuff that legends are made of, but it actually would be. That's what's so crazy about it. 800-919-3776. Hey, I want to mention this for our buddy Tim Bontemps, and he's going to come on Monday on the show. And that is that coming up on Tuesday night, the Hoop Collective podcast, which I am a massive fan of, with Brian Windhorst, Tim Bontemps, and Tim McMahon, is going to be doing a live show in New York City at the Gotham Comedy Club. This is Tuesday night, June 9th, after Game 3 at 7:30. $30 to get in, regular admission, 2 beverage minimum. It is a comedy club. Or you got a premium admission, $65, 2 beverage minimum, premium seating, post-show meet and greet with Wendy and other special guests. So that you can get your tickets by going to GothamComedyClub.com. But we're going to have Tim on the show on Monday, but that should be very cool. Whenever they do these live podcasts, they always turn out to be outstanding events for the fans. So I would urge you, if you have the opportunity to go check that out. Again, it's GothamComedyClub.com to get your tickets. Back to the phones at 800-919-3776. Chris in the Bronx next, ESPN New York. Chris, what's going on?
Chris, what's going on, man? Listen, I already put $150 on the Knicks at plus 1,800. It dropped all the way down to sweep the Spurs.
Oh wow!
It's at 28. It's at 2,800. It's either go big, go home, and then I put 100 on the bet for last game, and I won the 250 back altogether. So I'm playing with house money. I'm telling you right now, I don't think anybody's stopping the Knicks. And what I really wanted to do was tell you just give a little 10-second speech in correlation with Remember the Titans. Everybody knows this. This is how it goes. This is what Mike Brown is telling the Knicks. I don't want them to win another game. You double all night. They go on another run. I'm going to take every last one of you out. You make sure that they remember forever the night they played the Knicks. Let's go Knicks. 4-0, baby. Let's get it, Chris.
Appreciate it, brother. Thanks for the call. I understand people's reticence in some cases. Like I'm checking out the ESPN New York YouTube chat. And Jason Ashcroft checking in. Knicks could have easily lost game 1. Late in the fourth, Spurs went on a 9-0 run that put them in the lead late because the Knicks couldn't make a shot during that stretch. What happened after that? They went on an 11-0 run to close the game. This is the point. They understand what winning in the playoffs looks like, and they understand what it takes to close out teams. And the Spurs are still a very young team that may just be learning in all of this. But let's not get it twisted. This is absolutely a case where the Knicks' experience is helping them immensely. And their mentality is unmatched isn't the word. I just think right now their mentality is carrying the day because they are truly playing the best brand of team basketball that you can. They really are. And while you might say that the Spurs, as they sit there and talk about how they're not really worried about anything, we're fine. We're not worried about anything. Okay. It sounds like a team that knows they might be better and more talented. I don't know that they fully understand what's going on. And I get it. Like, it would strike me that you could be an incredibly talented team like San Antonio. And you'd look at the Knicks and you'd think, all right, well, they got Towns and they got Brunson, and Brunson's been amazing, but he's still a small guard. They got Josh Hart. They got OG Anunoby. He's a very good player. But, like, talent-wise, we're better than they are. We're the better team, right? Yeah, of course we are. And just take that for granted and not understand the cohesion with which they are playing. Because that is what is carrying them right now. My guy, Merv, in Winfield. And I'm going to see him at Monmouth Park tonight when Dan and I get down there to Caesars Sportsbook for a Knicks watch party with Kurt Thomas and John Wallace. What's going on, Merv?
I will be there.
That excites me.
How you guys doing there?
We're good. What do you got?
Yeah, I can't wait for tonight, man. And I don't know what you were saying was they think they might be better, but you started naming the players. You got Brunson was, two-time player of the year in college, and yeah, he's small, but he's showing, man, footwork and just drive can make you better than anybody. And like you said, the way they're playing together.
What has been taken for granted with his size is that, it's why Perk keeps calling him Big Body Brunson. The way he uses his body, the way he uses leverage, the way he uses angles is remarkable.
Yeah, and his feet, and OG is playing amazing. Hart. I think Hart's going to have that game tonight. Knock it down some threes because they're going to leave them open, and let's wait till the fourth quarter, and I think they're just going to outlast them again like they did the first game. And let's go Knicks, baby.
Appreciate it, Murph. Thanks for the call. I want to know how people are feeling about tonight. We've had a lot of confidence coming into tonight. And I think we all feel like at some point you're going to see the Spurs' best punch. But I'll give Ray the credit. He was 100% on this yesterday when we were talking about this pre-show, that you've heard that a lot the last couple of rounds. Well, you're going to get the Cavs' best shot in Game 2. Well, you're going to get the Sixers' best shot in Game 2. Well, neither one of those things really worked out for one reason or another. Didn't really matter. And so, as that's been the case, you might get the Spurs' best shot in Game 2 at home. You very well might. The Knicks have shown a wherewithal of being able to navigate through that. Dan is back. What's our situation?
I'll tell you, they knocked it out of the park. Shout out Ramon. Shout out Jeffrey. They absolutely crushed it. No pun intended.
First of all, did you inspect the furniture to make sure that there was no damage?
There was inspection, there was sit-in, there was operation, there was everything that you go through the process to make sure.
Operation, is this one of those couches that has the leg lift things, the ottomans?
We've got the electrical recline on both ends.
Okay.
We've got the pull-down bad boy in the middle where you have your cup holders, you have your little lamps, you have your phone chargers right in the middle as well. We got the whole 9 yards.
Look at wireless?
No, there is a
skimped out on that one. Okay, gotcha.
Not the wire, like you mean, like no, we have to plug the couch in to make all this stuff work.
No, I'm saying that there's a wireless charging pad, or do you have to plug in your phone?
There's USBs, there's all over the place.
You skimped out on the wireless charging pad. That's fine. Dan,
wireless
whatever.
charging, yes,
that's fine.
Got that? No, we got that. Yeah. We are. I tell you, I cannot.
So we're happy with the situation.
They did an outstanding job.
Are you at the point right now where you now have an hour and 35 minutes left of this show?
Yeah.
And the second it's over, you cannot wait to go and sit on that couch.
There's going to be a lengthy inspection of the couch. I'll be the first one to admit. We're definitely going to give this thing a whirl, make sure.
You've already signed that waiver. You know you're screwed, right?
Sign the waiver. Right. It's ours. No, but it's going to be good. But I got a lot of things to take care of this afternoon because I don't know if the people know this, but you and I are hanging out tonight.
Yeah, it's funny. I just mentioned it a few minutes ago, but I'm going to mention it again because you
not?
brought it up. And I don't know that anybody needs to be reminded, but here's the deal. Dan and I, we're going to be down at Monmouth Park in Jersey at Caesars Sportsbook this evening. What are we going to be doing? Watching the Knicks with you. Of course we are. You know who else? We're going to be watching it with, John Wallace.
Yeah.
We're going to be watching it with, who else is coming? I forgot.
Kurt Thomas.
That's right.
Members of the team that was in the NBA Finals for the New York Knicks prior to this current version in 1999.
Yep. I still have not gotten the answer to my question about whether or not. Well, I'll address that when we come back in a minute. Let me get through this. So John Wallace, Kurt Thomas, both going to be there. An official Knicks playoff T-shirt, which is the one they're going to be giving out on Monday night. You can get that in advance, and the first 100 fans are going to get a free Shack burger and fries. You stay until halftime because at halftime, Dan, we're going to be giving away a pair of 100-level tickets to Game 3 at Madison Square Garden.
Oh, yeah.
This is not, where you're sitting the game's a rumor, okay? No. You're in the thick of it.
Right.
Thick of it.
These seats are not where, like, you're having to, brush aside Patrick Ewing's number 33 banner because it's scraping the top of your head.
The words obstructed view are not at all involved in this.
No. So this is you. You could sit there. If you sneezed, some of it may actually get on Stiller's shoulder. That's how close you're going to be sitting.
Well, doors open at 7 o'clock, so get there early because space is limited tonight. And it's open to Caesars Sportsbook customers only, so sign up now and bring your app for entry this evening. To learn more, go to Caesars.com/Knicks Finals. Remember, you got to be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Next, she'll be on the call tonight. Doris Burke joins us on ESPN New York and the ESPN New York YouTube channel.
The Knicks.
Brunson's open, right corner, three-pointer. It's good! Jalen Brunson puts the Knicks in front with a clutch three-pointer. A minute 50 to go. They're up by 2.
The Spurs.
They've won a 12th consecutive playoff game and have stolen Game 1 of the NBA Finals.
The Knicks are 3 wins away. NBA Finals Game 2 coverage gets underway tonight at 7 on 880 and the ESPN New York app.
Replacing your home's AC system isn't exactly pocket change. Let's be real. Most people don't have thousands of dollars just lying around. And that's why Slomin's makes staying cool affordable. Right now, Slomin's central air conditioning makes it easier than ever to upgrade without blowing your budget. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0% financing for up to 18 months. Plus, every new system comes with a 5-year all-inclusive service plan, including annual system maintenance, filter replacements, and refrigerant. So there are no surprise costs down the road. Whether your system is outdated, your electric bills are through the roof, or your AC finally called it quits, Slomin's has a solution that works and a payment plan that actually makes sense. Call 516-932-7000. That's 516-932-7000. Or visit ac.slomans.com to schedule your free estimate today. Slomin's Central Air Conditioning. Because comfort shouldn't come with a price you can't afford. 18-month promo period. No payment, no interest, and no down payment offer. The offer is available through a third-party bank. On approved credit, interest is waived if loan is repaid in full during the same as cash period. Terms and conditions apply. are bringing more riders across the region. So if you're taking New Jersey Transit for everyday trips, plan ahead. Check schedules, allow extra time, and consider traveling outside of peak hours when you can. New Jersey Transit is running additional service to help keep everyone moving, but a little planning goes a long way. Stay aware, be courteous, and ride smart. New Jersey Transit, keeping your day on track. Plan your trip at njtransit.com.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Knicks fans finals tickets are up for grabs. Head to Caesar Sportsbook at Monmouth Park tonight for an exclusive Knicks finals watch party with me, Chris Carlin, and Dan Grassa. Catch the game on wall-to-wall screens, meet Knicks legends, and score an official Knicks playoff t-shirt. Stay through halftime for your chance to win a pair of 100-level tickets to Game 3 at MSG. Open to Caesar Sportsbook customers only. Sign up now and bring your app for entry. Doors open 7 p.m. Space is limited. Visit Caesars.com/Knicks finals for details.
You must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
When's the last time payroll was the easy part of your week? With Gusto, it can be. Gusto is the all-in-one platform designed to take the hassle out of managing your team, from payroll and compliance to hiring, onboarding, and more. With Gusto, you can get back 2 full days each month with all the time you've saved. Go to gusto.com today and learn why over 500,000 small businesses choose Gusto. That's GUSTO.com. Gusto.com.
Evan Cohen here. In life, as in sports, the pros make it look easy. That's why pro golfers like Jason Day, Ben Griffin, and Patton Kazire trust the pros in lawn care. True Green. They have the experience and expertise to give you a lawn worthy of the PGA Tour. And since True Green does the work for you, you get more free time, or more tee times. So stop stressing over your lawn and start loving it. Sign up now at TrueGreen.com, because nobody makes it easier to get a golf course quality lawn than True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour.
Well, she has been around the Knicks all postseason long, last round as well. She is Doris Burke, who will be on the national call tonight on ESPN Radio with Mark Kestisher, PJ Carlissimo, and George Sedano. And she is a Naismith Hall of Famer later on this month, where she will enter as a contributor into the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. Outstanding, outstanding. She is already a Naismith Memorial Basket Hall of Fame member, winning the Kirk Gowdy Award several years ago, and she joins us right now. Doris, it's Chris Carlin along with Dan Grassa on ESPN in New York. We appreciate a few minutes. How you doing?
Doing great. Good morning to both of you, gentlemen. Just excited for tip here in San Antonio. These days feel long. I can't imagine what the 8:30 tips feel like for these players, because I'm sure there's a lot of emotion and energy and nervousness for them to burn off all day.
Doris, let's start here. You've watched this team over the last 12 games. And certainly throughout the playoffs. I can't remember seeing a team change the way they play and adapt so easily and turn into a more dominant team than we have seen. What, in your mind, has contributed to this the most for the way the Knicks have played?
Boy, I feel like you just took my game one open from me, because I talked about how in the first couple of rounds, they were very cat-centric as the hub of their offense. And then in the conference finals, because they had two pigeons to attack in Harden and Mitchell, they sort of went back to Brunson heliocentric. I think the story for me of the Knicks late season and into the playoffs has been Karl Anthony Towns' comfortability. You guys are in New York City every day. You know how much of the conversation centered around Karl Anthony Towns and his place in Mike Brown's read and react offense. And the transformation of Karl Anthony Towns, I've never been more. The guy is such a highly skilled offensive basketball player. But what he did in game one against Victor Wembanyama on both sides of the floor, I thought was as impressive a game as I've ever seen. And here's what's very notable for me. Like, Carl is a scorer. From the moment he was drafted number 1 out of the University of Kentucky, he had been the focal point of an offense, and he comes to New York and he has to change that. And in these playoffs, after game 1, it's the first time that he has crossed the double-digit field goal attempts in the postseason. He had been averaging 9.8 shots for much of it and was still an enormous part of their success. And because he took 15 shots in game 1, he finally crossed that threshold and is now 10.2 shots. His willingness to be adaptable is really telling. And then I think, obviously you want to be playing your best basketball. Mikal Bridges goes from averaging, 7 points in the first 5 games to almost 18. I know OG missed a little bit of time with the injury, but he's at his highest level. The Knicks starters have been absolutely dominant. Now Shamit's minutes because he puts an extra shooter on the floor, and now you've got to guard 5 spots when they go in that direction. Their plus-minus with him on the floor has been incredible. And I'm sorry to go on, but I'm just so impressed with this team. It feels to me like they've captured magic. How about Jalen Brunson looking like he may have a postseason-ending situation? And what does Jose Alvarado do come in the game? He gets more minutes than you think possible in game 1 and does nothing but change the tempo and the feel of the Knicks attack in the first half. I don't know. I'm sitting here wondering, are the Knicks a team of destiny? Because that's how well they're playing as a group.
And we've talked about it, Doris, pretty much for the last month and a half. It seems like it's somebody different every night rising to the occasion and helping them win. When you hopped on, you mentioned it's tough waiting until 8:30 for these games to tip. The one thing the Knicks are accustomed to in these playoffs is waiting about a week for each series to begin because they're wrapping up their opponents so quickly. And, you're talking about a team that's played 5 games in the last 25 days. Based upon what we saw in game 1, in your opinion, how much do you think the rest factor, the fresh legs, contributed to the Knicks racing that 14-point deficit in the third quarter and winning this game?
Yeah, obviously I think, rest after a grueling 82-game season is important. I do think the way they took care of business in the early rounds is also important. They did not mess around with the game. They tried to put things to bed as quickly as possible. But can I just back up and make a point about Jalen Brunson that I had said way earlier than the conference finals? And Dave Pasch is my radio partner, and he can back me up on this. The one thing I thought Mike Brown's offense, helped with, and obviously some of this is luck, right, because of health, but I thought Jalen Brunson coming into the postseason looked as fresh and healthy as I had seen him during his tenure in New York. And it had been a brilliant tenure, obviously. But I just thought from a physical standpoint, like the bounce, the freshness of his legs, all of that felt different. And again, part of that is luck. Not turning your ankle, not stepping on one that's already sprained. You know what I'm saying? So all of that. And I did think, like, the pace of that game through the first 6 minutes, it felt to me like New York was trying to run Wemby and get him fatigued, and I thought he showed that. And here's one fascinating thing that's unfolded for the Spurs over the course of the season. When the year started, Mitch Johnson was playing Wemby in 5- and 6-minute clips, and they were watching carefully as soon as that 5-minute mark had elapsed to see what the fatigue level of their big man was. Now, that stretched out over the course of the playoffs, and in fact, in Game 7, he ripped off the longest run of play in his career. I feel like it was 12:57. I don't know. He played his longest stretch in Game 7, which you would expect. And everybody was tired. I get it because of the emotions running high early. I'm interested in the pace tonight, and the Spurs have clearly responded 3-0 when they face a deficit in the playoffs and winning by an average of over 20 points. So do I expect them to respond and to play truer to their identity on the offensive end? Yes, I do.
Doris Burke is with us. She's on the national radio call with PJ Carlissimo, Mark Kestisher, George Sedano on ESPN Radio, the NBA Finals. So, Doris, with that in mind, what do you expect the biggest adjustment for the Spurs to make?
Yeah.
And whether it's how they're going to guard Towns or how they're going to deal with Brunson?
Well, I don't know how you guys felt, but the first thing I was looking for at the start of Game 1 is Wemby checking Josh Hart. Because, as you know, it is now very commonplace. It is what is expected. The center is placed on the least threatening shooter of the opponent to allow paint protection, which remains the single greatest driver of every defensive scheme. And the fact that he came out on Towns, I found fascinating. So that's the first thing my eyes are going to. Who is Wemby checking? Obviously, Karl Anthony Towns, and I've said this about the guy's game, and obviously he calls himself the greatest shooting big man. What that opens up is he is also a dynamic driver, going right or going left. And his willingness to attack off the bounce, get downhill, and put Wemby on his heel was significant. So two things I'm thinking about for the Spurs. Who is Wemby checking? Does he guard Hart more? I have a note here somewhere because I wanted to know how many times he had checked Hart in that game. It was fewer than 10 times, I believe, that Wemby was checking Hart in Game 1. So how many times has he matched up against him? And then the second thing is, what does the offense look for the Spurs? 16 assists, guys, is the fewest they've had in a game going back to 2022, and by far the fewest games this team has had this season. And I think the one overwhelming point I got from Mitch Johnson yesterday when we sat down as a radio group to talk to him was they didn't play to their identity. The ball didn't move. I mean, Wemby, put the ball on the deck so often in a one-on-one situation. He was 2 for 10 going off one-on-one situations off the bounce in Game 1. Like, I just don't expect that to happen unless their actions are starting closer to the elbow where he is. So those would be the two things I'm looking at.
First game all postseason that the Spurs didn't crack 100 points either in that game on Wednesday night. We're talking with Doris Burke, ESPN. She'll be on the call of tonight's game number 2 between the Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs. The other thing that stood out, certainly, Doris, in that first half of the game the other night when San Antonio was having the better of the play, they were able to get out and run in transition. I think they were outscoring the Knicks in the first half 14-2 in fast break points. Spurs had one fast break point in the second half of the game, and you saw the tide turn.
That's exactly right. And 15 transition plays in the first half versus 3 transition plays in the second half. So, and listen, maybe that's the untold story here of the New York, not maybe the untold story, but the underemphasized part of the story because of the Knicks leading in points per game, field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, offensive efficiency, fast break. The fact that they got 50 paint points and won the paint battle, to me, shows that their ability, moving the chess pieces, getting Wemby out of the paint, was significant. And obviously it's been a driver of their success is the balanced offense and the brilliance of Jalen Brunson. But the fact that they made the adjustment and got back in transition and forced the Spurs to execute in the half court where really very little went well. I mean, Wemby as a screener all year has been great action for the Spurs, and yet they got, less, I think maybe a half a point per possession with him as a screener in the half court. They run that horns action where they're really looking for Wemby on the roll. Knicks did a superb job knocking Wemby off of his roll. I mean, listen, the offense has been so good, but the Knicks have been a brilliant team on both ends throughout this postseason.
Doris Burke is with us. She's got one or two more for you before we let you go, Doris, and we appreciate the time today. She's on the call tonight on ESPN Radio with Mark Kestisher and PJ Carlissimo, along with George Sedano as well. As you look at the Spurs, it felt like, and maybe I'm reading too much into it, the way that they've handled themselves the last day or two versus the way the Knicks have handled themselves. The Knicks just feel like a more experienced team right now. And maybe I'm taking too much out of one game, but we're hearing the Spurs say a lot, yeah, we're not worried. We're not worried. We're not worried. The Knicks just aren't really talking at all and seem very focused. Am I reading way too much into all of this?
I don't know. But I did get the sense that, and Victor is, very clearly a very cerebral guy, doesn't seem to get too high or too low. And I think, and I don't know how you guys feel, but I do think he may be, in terms of television ratings, which we obviously, care about a great deal. Like, you think about it, Giannis, Luka, Jokic, none of those guys have really captured the imagination, I don't think necessarily yet, of the American sports fan, if we're just basing it off the power of ratings, right? Like LeBron and Steph are still the drivers. I do think Victor can be that guy. I just think he's that unique from a skill set and a personality. So that is interesting. I don't know the answer. I think for me, the biggest concern I have, if I'm a San Antonio Spurs fan, is the play of De'Aaron Fox over the last 6 games. And it coincides with his return from that high ankle sprain. First 11 games, he's a shade under 19%. He's shooting 46%. He's very good from 3 for him. He's like 35%. Last 6, it's been about 10 points on far less efficiency. Game 1, if he wasn't in the restricted area, guys, he was 1 for 11. I'm not making excuses for him, but this is quote, one of your more veteran guys. He played almost 11 minutes in the fourth, didn't score, 2 turnovers, 0 for 2 shooting. Like, I don't know if it's demeanor or taking. I think they're probably basing their comments on their history in this playoff run. For me, the biggest concern is what does De'Aaron Fox look like tonight? Is he more productive? Is he getting them into offense without turning them over? Because their turnovers in the fourth absolutely killed them. I mean, killed them.
Agree wholeheartedly. And the final thing for me, Doris, it coincides with what we have been talking about the last couple of days. And for my money, pound for pound, I thought Dylan Harper was the best player in a Spurs uniform on Wednesday night. Yeah. And I know Mitch Johnson answered questions about it yesterday, but that to me was a rookie first-time head coach in the NBA Finals in that fourth quarter the other night. I was a little surprised that Harper only played a couple of minutes in that fourth quarter and didn't see the court at all, the final 4+ minutes of that game.
Think about his performance in the first quarter and how much of a driver he was in helping them get the advantage. And the fact is, he and Stephon Castle all season long have been able to touch paint, and to touch paint as scorers, but to also, touch paint as spray out guys. And one fascinating thing is, like Mitch Johnson said to us at the NBA Cup before the Knicks championship game, and that is because we were asking him about those 2 young guys and the turnovers, which had obviously been hard for them to absorb at times in the playoffs. And Mitch Johnson said, I want them driving the car fast, understanding that they're going to crack it up sometimes, because in the long run of this particular group, both this year and, throughout they're going to be primary drivers of our success because the ball is in their hands. And I do wonder, to be honest with you, I think your question is so on point. Like, do we see, which we haven't seen a ton, any of a 3-guard lineup where Harper and Castle and Fox are all on the floor together? I'm not sure, to be honest with you, the amount of minutes. I don't think it was super high, maybe 6 total in game 1.
Doris, great stuff. We really appreciate the time. Have a great call tonight and the rest of the series with Kesty and with PJ and George Sedano on the radio. Thanks so much.
Thank you for having me, guys. Take care.
Thanks, Doris.
She is the Hall of Famer Doris Burke with us on ESPN New York. Bart and Carlin, ESPN New York. Dan Grassa in for Bart today. 800-919-3776. 800-919-ESPN. Not so great news for the Yankees.
No.
We'll get into that next.
Friday with Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. The show is back at Stout NYC ahead of Game 2 of the NBA Finals. Don and Alan discuss what the Knicks need to do to take a 2-0 series lead.
I just think it's 0-0. And the next game is the most important game of the year. We step on that court, it should be the same determination, desperation, energy level, and physicality needed.
Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg live from Stout NYC at 3 o'clock on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Who do you think will be wearing the ring at the end of the NBA Finals? Take your shot with FanDuel, and you might just be celebrating a victory of your very own. Right now, new customers can hit the court with $350 in bonus bets guaranteed after betting $5 for 7 straight days. FanDuel, the best place to bet all your favorite players during the NBA's biggest event. Play your game any way you want. Seek out individual player markets for baskets or rebounds, or build an epic same-game parlay for a chance at a bigger payout. It's up to you, and best of all with FanDuel, you get paid instantly when you win. Now, you know there's only one way I can bet in the finals, and that is with the New York Knicks, who I've been winning with all playoffs long. So are you ready to play your game? Just visit FanDuel.com/local to join now to get $350 in bonus bets guaranteed after betting $5 for 7 days. FanDuel, official partner of the NBA. 21 and over, physically present in New York. First online, real money wager only. Minimum $5 wager required for 7 consecutive days. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issues, non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. For help with the gambling problem, call 877-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Hey, New York, are you okay to drive? No, really. Did you know just one drink can lower your inhibitions, slow reaction times, and reduce coordination? That single drink causes your judgment to be altered and makes it harder to track moving objects. The risk you take by getting behind the wheel is not worth your life or anyone else's. Call a cab.
Hey, I'm looking for a cab.
A ride share, a sober friend, or take public transit. The New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee is reminding you to always drive sober.
You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off and to wear a helmet when she rides her bicycle. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the right seat.
Sponsored by the New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Okay, all signed up. Easy. Now let's run payroll. What the? Hey girl, I'm you with more gusto. Nice. Who's that? New social media manager, hired and onboarded with gusto. And spoiler, we're kind of famous now. Wait, we're famous? Oh, well, I'm famous. Payroll, benefits, and HR. Designed and built for small businesses. Choose a future with gusto.
With Progressive Customer Service, there are lots of ways to connect with us, so you never have to miss a second of your favorite sport. Because you'd much rather watch a ball go through a net 124 times in 48 minutes when you don't really have to pay attention until the last 2, and then somehow those 2 minutes will take an hour. You don't want to miss all that. Luckily, you can chat with Progressive on our app, online, or over the phone without missing a single one of those times the ball goes through the metal circle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Programming alert. Today's Mets Padres game can be heard on 1050 ESPN at 9 p.m. Game 2 of the NBA Finals can be heard on 880 ESPN New York at 7 p.m. And all games can be streamed on the ESPN New York app.
My friends, game time brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, it's Tully time, 7 o'clock. Oh, by the way, Yankees-Red Sox tonight. Yankees-Red Sox tonight. 8:30, Knicks visiting the Spurs. Game 2 of the finals. Coverage begins on 880 ESPN New York and the ESPN New York app starting at 7. And at 9:40, Mets visit the Padres. Coverage begins on 1050 ESPN beginning at 9 o'clock. Tullamore Dew is the original triple distilled, triple blended, triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. Aaron Judge can't even get up off the couch, Dan's new couch for that matter, for 4 to 6 weeks with the stress fracture in his rib. Not great. Not great.
No. Not good. Well, the thing is this. It's not great, but it's also not catastrophic, which if you're a Yankee fan and it's June 5th, I think you take the latter. That you still have a season. You could still accomplish all your goals. Now, look, Judge is not going to win another MVP award this year. We could rule that out. But it's not about individual prizes. It's about the championship and trying to win another World Series. When I started to kind of think doomsday scenario is, I guess it was yesterday late afternoon at some point when I first saw the mention of thoracic outlet. Yeah. And I was like, uh-oh. That's not good. Now, normally that's an injury that's associated with pitchers, like Matt Harvey, Zach Wheeler just, came back from it, this year, which is why his season was delayed, at least at the beginning. But it has happened to some position players. And I texted a buddy of mine last night. I totally forgot, maybe because he was no longer on the Mets after the season, but Jeff McNeil had thoracic outlet at the end of last season. Had the surgery and everything, but now he's out with the A's.
I've just forgotten about Jeff McNeil, period.
We lost track of it or whatever. But, look, best case scenario you're thinking about now with the timetable they gave you, he's not going to do anything for 4 to 6 weeks at the minimum. If everything checks out okay, then he begins baseball activity again. In a perfect world, you see him sometime early to mid-August, which, if you're the Yankees, you'll take that in a heartbeat.
Absolutely. Absolutely you will. The problem is you haven't hit with him. And now you're not going to hit without him.
But you can pitch.
Yeah, there's a lot to this. I think we'll get into it more this coming hour at 800-919-3776. A lot more on Game 2. My mind just overflowed with thoughts, Dan, and I looked at the clock and I said, "No, Carlin, you've got too much to say."
That's why you're a professional. That's why.
30 seconds before the break. Exactly. I'm sorry, I missed it. Why exactly?
You're a professional. That's why. Because I didn't even notice the clock.
That's not it at all. Bart and Carlin, Dan Gross in for Bart, ESPN New York.
The Knicks.
Brunson's open, right corner, three-pointer, it's good! Jalen Brunson puts the Knicks in front with a clutch three-pointer. 1:50 to go, they're up by 2.
The Spurs.
They've won a 12th consecutive playoff game and have stolen Game 1 of the NBA Finals.
The Knicks are 3 wins away. NBA Finals Game 2 coverage gets underway tonight at 7 on 880 and the ESPN New York app.
Knicks fans, it's time to hit the court with BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the New York Knicks. Download the BetMGM app today and add a boost of excitement to every New York game day with same-day parlays, live betting options, player props, boosted odds specials, and the best daily promotions in the business. With the BetMGM app at your fingertips, you can experience the excitement of betting on your favorite players and get in on all the blue and orange action as your New York Knicks drive the lane. Find out why basketball fans love BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the New York Knicks. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Gambling problem in New York? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, New York and New Jersey, Boost Mobile has an unlimited talk, text, and data plan that's only $25 a month forever, meaning you'll only ever pay $25 a month for the rest of your life. Who wouldn't want unlimited wireless when it only costs $25 a month forever? If you don't, you must be one of those people who enjoy overpaying for their phone plan. $25 a month forever is truly as good as it gets, so go online and switch now at boostmobile.com. After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan.
Hey, it's Alan Hahn. At Rings End, they're there to help realize your modern design visions. That's why they partner with Marvin. Engineered for big ideas, Marvin Modern Windows and Doors deliver effortless elegance, expansive views, and industry-leading innovation, all in a modular system designed to meet the exacting principles of modern architecture. Experience Marvin Modern at a Rings End showroom today and create something stunning with them. Rings End is a certified Marvin installing retailer.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000 $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code ADVANCE to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code ADVANCE to borrow up to $10,000. Use code ADVANCE to borrow up to $10,000.
This is your home for the Eastern Conference champion New York Knicks and the NBA Finals. WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
Yes, it is. Bart and Carlin on ESPN New York, on the ESPN New York YouTube channel, where you can be commenting, where you can be part of the show, where you can get it all in. And we will do that for you at 800-919-3776, 800-919-ESPN. It is game 2 tonight. It is the Knicks and the Spurs in San Antonio. And that means it's not the power hour.
No.
But rather, it's the Bauer hour. Tom?
And
floor is yours.
And you know what? I'm going to be. Why is Dan holding up a finger real quickly?
Because I live for this. That's why.
And you want to know there might be some extra oomph in this one. One, because of the Knicks, and two, because my computer just shut down on me again randomly.
So your script is gone.
Yeah. So so everything is gone.
Would you
right
like
now.
to?
You have to script out it's the power hour?
Oh, if we're doing an official power hour, yeah, give me, we'll do that at 12:30. I will give you a power hour right now.
Now you're determining when we're doing things. Okay.
Well, he has no computer.
Oh, that's right. At any rate, I'm just
We
going to...
don't have a monitor.
Yeah, I'm just going to shut up and...
Well, see if the cue card guy is in the office today. Or is that's a union job last time I checked, right?
Oh, boy.
What is it, Saturday Night Live? Who's running prompter today?
Yeah. The first Friday of every month, the cue card guys get off in the summertime.
At any rate.
All right. So make it the power hour, and you can do your Bauer hour later because, it's all Tom all the time.
It's the power hour!
Nice. I like that tail at the end. That's a nice little wrinkle, Tom.
Look at you. Look at you, Tom.
I was trying to extend as much as possible. I was pulling a Scott Foster right there.
We're not going to call you the extender quite yet.
No.
No.
But it's better than being the awkward pauser.
Well, here we are, and we'll get to the awkward pauses later on when we do the Bauer hour.
On that note, real quick, I thought the officiating the other night, I don't really have much of an issue with it. I thought it was good. They let them play for the most part.
I would agree they let them play, but I know why Jalen Brunson was complaining too. Jalen Brunson was complaining because he's on the road and he needs some calls.
Yeah, because he got beat up. I mean, shoot, it almost ended his season. Let's face it, inadvertently, but still.
By the way, we didn't even talk about that thing that was going on at the end of the game with those two fans and Scott Foster. Give Scott Foster some credit because he just kind of stepped in there. He knew what was going on and made sure that Jalen just moved on from it. Didn't even screw around with it and went back to it. But Jalen kept looking over his shoulder after he did interviews. I'm wondering what those fans said.
Everything that's being reported, it had some vulgarity attached to the flopping.
Yes.
Sort of kind of thought that, he and a lot of other NBA players kind of partake in. Right. I mean, Foster had to get between them. Initially, when it first happened, I thought he was maybe going back and forth at one of the San Antonio Spurs or their bench or something like that because he was walking in that direction. Or he actually went then I thought, okay, well, is he going to Scott Foster to complain about some of the calls that he didn't get during the game? Like
That's
I
what
didn't
I
think
thought
that,
initially, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think it was anything that had to do with the fans or any vulgarities that were coming from the crowd. And apparently, like if it is those people that are being kind of depicted at the scores table, like good for San Antonio that you could be a fan and you're sitting at the scores table, literally, for an NBA Finals game.
Yeah, well, listen, they certainly made a little bit of an impact in the moment for sure. It's Bart and Carlin on ESPN New York on the ESPN New York YouTube channel. Dan Grassa is in for Bart today as we get ready for Game 2 tonight. Listen, Dan, I want to remind you that Dan and I will later on tonight for Game 2 will be down at Monmouth Park at Caesars Sportsbook for a watch party this evening. We got wall-to-wall screens. We got an opportunity to hang with some Knicks legends. Kurt Thomas is going to be there. John Wallace is going to be there. And you can score an official Knicks playoff T-shirt, the one that they're going to be giving out at Game 3 Monday night. You're getting it 2 days in advance. And the first 100 fans also get a free Shack burger and fries. And then at halftime, we will be giving away a pair of 100-level tickets to Game 3 at Madison Square Garden. Did I stutter? I did not.
No.
That
right. That is the coup de grace. I mean, I don't think you can get any better than that.
Exactly.
You show up, you hang with us, you hang with Kurt Thomas and John Wallace, great food, spirits, you place a few wagers. I mean, the only thing that could top this is if I was able to bring my brand new couch to the watch party tonight, which sadly I can't do.
Well, yeah, I know that you'll get plenty of time with it for sure, and I think you'll be comfortable this evening. And this event tonight is open to Caesars Sportsbook customers only. So sign up now and bring your app in for entry. Doors open 7 o'clock. Get there early. Space is limited. Space is limited. To learn more, visit Caesars.com/Knicks Finals. And remember, you must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Dan, let's go back to both Knicks and Yankees here for the next few minutes. 800-919-3776, because we have not really gotten into the Yankees at all. But I do want to just really set the scene for tonight because that's what is on all of our minds, obviously. And there is an awful lot of assumptions being made here by San Antonio, by the Spurs players, by fans certainly, but really more by the players, that there is nothing to worry about. Everything is fine. They look across the floor. They still feel like they're the better team, which I get all of these thoughts. And sometimes you're going to lose Game 1, and the Knicks did a good job of tiring them out. But in the end, I see on the other side, and maybe I'm being too much of a sucker and buying into a quiet confidence from the Knicks and we're not really getting caught up in anything else at the moment. We're not getting overwhelmed by the fact that we made the finals like San Antonio did. Maybe, just maybe, the emotional component of this is an angle that the Knicks have, as an advantage that the Knicks have, I should say. And I'm starting to get, I don't want to say suckered in, because I've gotten suckered in on this kind of thing before, but I'm starting to believe in that a little bit more right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think that that's a fair assessment, 100%. And look, confidence is contagious, right? When you've won 12 in a row, I mean, I can't imagine what that's like in the playoffs. You know, teams go on winning streaks that ridiculous during the regular season, but it's the regular season. You're playing mixed competition. You know, you could be playing good teams, bad teams during that stretch, teams that are resting guys, right? It's a long season. You're in the playoffs. You're supposed to be playing good teams. You know, you could say that maybe Philadelphia, Cleveland aren't championship caliber, but they're good teams, right? Like, if you're not at your best, like, they're capable of beating you at any given moment. The fact that this team has won 12 in a row, they've taken it now onto the road in the NBA Finals, won a game, came from behind double digits again. Like, they probably walk out onto... See, there's a difference between confidence and arrogance, right? I think the Knicks are just a confident bunch. And why wouldn't you be? Like, they step out onto the floor, they think they're going to win the game, that they could beat anybody. And when you've won 12 in a row in the manner in which they've won these games, Chris, like, why wouldn't you feel that? Just like we've heard the Spurs say that they're confident because we got this, even though we lost Game 1, flip it over to the Knicks side. They haven't lost a game since the 23rd of April.
Yeah.
They don't know what losing is.
And they've won these games by double digits. They've got 12 double-digit wins in the postseason. 12. That's ridiculous. That ties a record with 4 other teams, and those 4 other teams have all won championships.
Does this remind you... Like, this team didn't go on the run that the Knicks are on in terms of consecutive wins, but Is there a little bit of that Larry Brown Pistons team, 04, that won the championship in this Knicks squad that, nobody really gave them a heavy favorite chance when the playoffs began. They were dangerous. They were, well coached. They played
were
as good
respected.
they were respected. They played as good at defense as anybody. And then they get to the finals and they kind of beat up on the last legs, Shaq and Kobe Lakers, if you will. But, that was a team that was just all business. They weren't flash. And I think the Knicks embody some of that.
I don't disagree with that. There is no flash to what they're doing. And while we could say that the Spurs have better talent, I'm confident right now in saying the Knicks are the Knicks are a better team. And I hate that.
They're definitely a better team.
Yeah.
They're definitely a better team.
The way that they have gelled together, the way that they have, there's been an unselfishness about them. All the things that turn out to feel like cliche things, they're there, and they're said all the time for a reason because they exist. And that feels like it very much exists with this team. Like there is a full understanding and cohesion with each other about what they're doing. And I think that's been the most impressive part of this run. And I hate to even call it a run because run to me intimates that they got on a hot streak. This feels like more than a hot streak. This feels like this is who they are right now. And they have eventually developed into this team this year. I think that at this point, it's hard not to look at them and say that this is one of the most dominant postseason performances we've ever seen. So why would you continue to doubt that?
I'm old enough to remember, and you probably are too, when the biggest issue for the Knicks going into the series was Mitchell Robinson's pinky.
Yeah.
Remember those days?
Yeah.
Those were some days. Remember them?
Remember Monday?
Oh. Remember that? I mean, how's he? They might have to,
Oh, God, no, not Mitch.
Pull a Ronnie Lott. Just cut the damn thing off. You don't need it. Go out there and play with the 9 other ones you have, right? I mean, it's
buy another finger later, Mitch.
And it's crazy because, like back to your point about how, and we've been kind of hitting this home over the last 6 weeks or whatever during this run. It's somebody else every single night. There's so many guys that are along for the ride and making contributions. I mentioned this yesterday. Mikal Bridges wasn't bad on Wednesday night. And this is a guy, in my opinion, that I would have had no problem if they gave him the MVP of the conference finals, right? Playoff Mikal has been, super. He wasn't bad the other night, but he didn't really do anything that stood out necessarily in that game. But there were 5 or 6 other guys on that floor in a Knick uniform that all did things in a major way to help them win that game. You can't say that about San Antonio, right? And Doris alluded to it. That's the other area of concern I would have from a Spurs standpoint if this is a close game, let's say in the fourth quarter again. Outside of Wembanyama, and remember, he doesn't have a refined offensive game yet. He gets by a lot of times with just athleticism, his size, his length, all these things. Who else is going to step up and make big shots for them down the stretch? The three-pointers were falling in the first half with Champagnie and everybody, but those were also corner threes, if you noticed. Whenever the Knicks made sure that they would get out of that corner and they had to maybe go to the elbow or to the top of the key, those threes were not falling to the extent that they did in the first half. And I think that that's what they're going to try to hit home again. But who else is stepping up to take some of that offensive burden away from Wembanyama? And it looks like at times he's just out there on the playground as the biggest kid that his size alone is going to be able to get him into the basket.
Yeah. No, I think that's it. I think you absolutely hit it on the head there. And, I mean, kind of along those lines when it comes to Wemby, I'm sure physically he feels like he can dominate anybody, as he should. He can. I do wonder, as he is, as the Knicks are dealing with him on the defensive end and they're trying to attack, early in that game, I was a little concerned about the fact that they would drive into the lane and clearly their head's on a swivel and they're looking around, where is he?
Right.
And they're afraid to put it up because it's almost like if they don't see him, that arm's going to come from nowhere and block the shot from behind. I don't.
That was his biggest impact in the game.
Feel for him that there's any feel that that's a problem now.
But make no mistake about it.
Hoisting very high shots just to get the shot off. You know what I mean?
Yes and no. I mean, like, I still think his biggest impact on the game is what he does to alter shots. He's like that guy who's just kind of like roaming the paint, and then when you think you have an open lane, boom, there he is, and then all of a sudden he can either force you to kick. Like we saw this in that Game 7 over the weekend in Oklahoma City. Like late in the game, I think Oklahoma City was down 6, and they were trying to make that charge in the final minute. SGA had like a wide open path to the lane. He drove the ball to the basket. All of a sudden, Wemby showed up, and then he had to kick it out to the corner to a guy who was standing there to hoist up a three. So there was some of that the other night. I did think that he was forcing some of those floaters that would maybe go in off the backboard. The trajectory had to be changed just from his presence alone. But I'll say this. However long this series goes, if that's going to be his biggest imprint on the series, him altering shots defensively, and he's still very up and down on the offensive end, Knicks will sign up for that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I think that's fair. 800-919-3776. Hey, the ESPN New York Beach Bash is back. That's Thursday, July 2nd, Bar A, Lake Como, New Jersey. Head down to the Jersey Shore. Join the Michael Kay Show and Don Hahn and Rosenberg live starting at 1 p.m. and an appearance by DiPietro and Rothenberg, by Bart, by myself, and more. You coming?
TBD.
Gotcha.
TBD.
We'll have plenty of giveaways for fans in attendance. In other words, up the dollar amount. For Soccer Watch Party, we're going to have one there. And the chance to test your skills by trying to kick a goal past Rick DiPietro, who will be between the pipes in the soccer net. Here's an idea. Kick it right at him. Plus music from Surfing for Daisy, who will be playing an hour before and after the shows. It's all brought to you by Spiked Aid, Boost Mobile, Miller Lite, Fanatics Fest NYC, and the New Jersey Lottery. You must be at least 21 years of age to enter. Let's get back to some of these calls. 800-919-3776. Mitch Freeport has been patient today. He was on earlier. We didn't quite get to him. He is up on ESPN New York. Mitch, what's going on?
And we didn't get to him again. I don't know what's going on with Mitch.
Dynamite contribution.
Is it cold feet? Is it like, hey, Mitch, now you're center stage, here you go, man, and then all of a sudden...
His pinky hit the off.
Oh, it was his pinky.
Yeah.
Pinky.
That's what happens to Mitch's.
His pinky accidentally? Well done. I didn't even pick up on that for a second.
Ray has had a couple zingers today. One that you just heard. The other off-air, which I cannot mention because none of us will be working here any longer. But I'll tell you, Ray's on top of his game.
Zing.
Bringing it on a Friday. Yep.
Top notch. All right. Ricardo was also on earlier, and we didn't get to him. Let's see if he hung around this time. Ricardo, what's up, baby?
Listen, I'm here. You don't understand. I've been waiting on the phone an hour and change, and it is so worth.
And I appreciate your patience for that.
Yeah, and you guys always, like, I walk my dogs. I'm ready to get ready for an event that I have to do tonight. And let me tell you, what sucks is that I have to D-Day a 900-kid prom tonight, and my iPad will be in the corner so I can watch Game 2. Yeah.
One
thing I wanted to. Huh?
What prom you got to do tonight?
I don't know. It's one of my business partners who's out in Marlboro because I'm in Bergen County.
Okay.
Gotcha.
But I have to actually go set up for a prom and then go to another one. But no, guys. A couple quick points, real quick. One of the things that I keep hearing is that easy route that the Knicks have, but people kind of forget the easy route that the Spurs had. The Spurs, again, they beat Fugazi. And again, I say this because I was the guy who had that conversation with Bart, and I called the Detroit Pistons Fugazi. But I called the Portland Trailblazers Fugazi. You won 5 games with them. You went 6 games with a 40% Anthony Edwards, that if he would have been 100%, Spurs wouldn't be where they're at right now. And then you got Jalen Williams and Ty Mitchell, who didn't play for OKC right now. Spurs beat them, won 7 games. They had it easier in the West, So that's one of the things that I see with their big bodies,
Are you saying they had it easier in the West than the Knicks had in the East?
I think so. I think so because, listen, if OKC would have had, nobody brings that up. But if OKC, Jalen Williams, 2-time, he's a second-team All-Defender this year, great three-point shooter. Ty Mitchell is another body, he's a good defensive player. 13 or 14 points off the bench, they would have swept the Spurs. The Spurs
Again,
good, but they
two
would have
things
at least
you're
maybe
forgetting,
5
all
games.
right? Thanks for the call. Ricardo, this was a point that was made to me by Tim Bontemps a few weeks ago because I was trying to, I don't know, a month and a half, 2 months ago. I was trying to make the argument at the time that, you look at what Jalen Brown did this year without Tatum to have the Celtics where they were. I'm always a traditionalist. I'll try to find the guy that really kind of means valuable in the MVP discussions. And I was trying to not make a strong case, but hey, why isn't this talked about? And he went to me and he immediately said, how many times over the last 2 years has Oklahoma City had their entire starting lineup intact over 2 seasons? And the answer to that was 20 games. And they, over that 2-season period, had won 125 games. And the reason is SGA. So let's not get into this discussion
and
about how the Spurs had an easier route than the Knicks did. That's silly.
And remember when we were sizing up both teams, like when it became apparent that the Knicks were obviously going to move on to the finals, who would you rather play? And I said San Antonio. I think a lot of people said San Antonio simply because with Oklahoma City, their depth, I thought, would be the biggest problem to deal with. Like they have, when they're healthy, right? I think they go maybe 10. You could even make I would say probably they have up to as many as 10 guys that Chris could go off for 20 points on any given night.
Yeah.
And you can't say that about the Knicks, right? You can't say that about San Antonio, but the Thunder do have that kind of depth. So look, they slipped up. I know maybe the injuries did take a toll on them, but Knicks aren't complaining, nor should they. You got to play who's in front of you, and right now they're 3 wins away from a championship. It's as simple as that.
You don't have Ariel Huckporty going on for 20th?
I don't think he could. I don't know, maybe if he goes to the Euro League and goes crazy one day in the summer.
Little two-way thing, G League?
Yeah, I don't know if that could happen. But you don't have to worry about that. This team, it's just so incredible. Like, I referenced this a little bit earlier. Like, all the things that we thought about the Knicks, or so we thought, during the regular season. And remember even the lead up to the playoffs, where they were going to finish in the standings. Is it better to be 3? Is it better to be 4? Do you want to avoid Detroit? Do you want to avoid Boston? And now here we are, and that stuff is like a distant memory. And you don't have to worry about those teams. You don't got to worry about how up and down you were playing for stretches during the season, or who was going to be available and how this guy's playing. It really, I was joking around yesterday. Like, we're going to look back on, like, the Atlanta Hawks. They should feel pretty good about themselves. Like, if the Knicks win, if they sweep the Spurs or win 3 out of the next 4 and make this a routine series, Spurs should, the Hawks should jokingly, hang a banner on opening night next year. Like, we had a 2-1 lead on the Knicks. Right? Because that almost seems like it was a different season.
That's amazing. What would be better, hanging that or the in-season tournament banner?
Remember the jokes that were flying before this series started that the Knicks should be petty and raise the NBA Cup banner prior to Game 3?
Yeah.
Because it was against San Antonio?
That'd
Rub it in even more?
That'd be amazing.
Or no, let's say if the Knicks are up 3-0 going into Game 4, before Game 4 they should have the ceremony. So it's like, we're going to stick it to you 2 ways. We're going to remind you about the NBA Cup, and then we're going to win the whole thing on our floor here tonight. So you're going to have to deal with it twice. But you know what? Like, back to the Hawks thing, all kidding aside, if not for the Hawks, if not for Quinn Snyder and how we all remember outcoached Mike Brown those first 3 games.
Oh, absolutely.
And we were talking about it. He was coaching circles around him. If not for what the Hawks made the Knicks pivot to, we're not talking about a team that's won 12 in a row and is 3 wins away from a championship. The Hawks deserve credit, in a way, for this Knicks run.
Knicks fans, join Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Live broadcast today at Scout NYC. It's 2 blocks from the Garden, 215 West 35th Street, before Game 2 of the NBA Finals. They're breaking it all down, talking matchups, getting you ready for tip-off. Don, Hahn, Rosenberg, live today, Scout NYC, starting at 3 p.m., getting you ready for Game 2 tonight. Bart and Carlin, ESPN New York on the ESPN New York YouTube channel. Dan Grassa is in for Bart. Still to come, the Bauer Hour, which is on a pretty good run itself. And we're
love the Bauer Hour.
It's been enjoyable. I'm not going to lie. It's been enjoyable. Really more because I just count on the awkward, and I'm somebody that lives for the awkward.
We're getting ready for the Knicks to sword fight with the Cavs. Knicks in 4. Knicks winning it all. Knicks are going to take it to the finals.
The sword fight element, because the way my demented mind works
is the way everybody else's demented mind works.
When I hear sword fight, I immediately think of, could you imagine how great it would be if the two teams step out on the floor tonight and it's literally like a sword fight? Put the basketballs away. We're going to decide this thing the old-fashioned way, like medieval times.
I challenge thee to a duel.
I'm not talking about like fencing in the Olympics where you have all like the proper equipment. No.
Scott
Old
Foster
school
is standing in the middle officiating a fencing match.
No fencing. This is an actual sword fight. Like Pirates of the Caribbean.
On guard!
Love it.
Bart and Carlin, ESPN New York.
Friday with Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. The show is back at Stout NYC ahead of Game 2 of the NBA Finals. Don and Alan discuss what the Knicks need to do to take a 2-0 series lead.
I just think it's 0-0. And the next game is the most important game of the year. We step on that court, it should be the same determination, desperation, energy level, and physicality needed.
Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg live from Stout NYC at 3 o'clock on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Ratliff, Engineering Director at Nissan. We know some things are important to hear from an expert, not a voice actor. For instance, the Nissan Frontier is not only powerful and fun to drive, but it's durable too. We added the V6 engine, so when you need that power in the off-road, it's there. I know, we've tested it a lot. Now get out there and find your Frontier.
Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands by J.D. Power. Well-qualified buyers get 0% APR on the 2026 Nissan Rogue, Murano, Pathfinder, or Frontier, excluding S-Trim. For J.D. Power 2025 U.S. IQS award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year. Example, 0 down payment, 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per thousand financed. Frontier S-Trim 1.9% APR for 60 months at $1,748 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to in-mac credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. N6/30/26.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique personal injury and workers' compensation laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling all types of accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for injured New Yorkers. From construction to car accidents and slips and falls, they've got you covered. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS, where your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
It's summertime, so why are you still living with pain? If you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, joint pain, or nerve pain, don't wait any longer. Call Dr. J. Shah at Samwell Pain. He's Ivy League trained, double board certified, no surgery, no long recovery, no relying on pain medication. Just non-surgical image-guided treatments that help you get your life back. With offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood, and most major insurances are accepted. Help is close. Go to SamwellPain.com. Feel better this summer, not someday.
The Knicks.
Brunson's open, right corner, three-pointer, it's good! Jalen Brunson puts the Knicks in front with a clutch three-pointer, 1:50 to go, they're up by 2.
The Spurs.
They've won a 12th consecutive playoff game and have stolen Game 1 of the NBA Finals.
The Knicks are 3 wins away. NBA Finals Game 2 coverage gets underway tonight at 7 on 880 and the ESPN New York app.
Long Island is more exciting than ever at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. This June, don't miss our midweek Money Rush drawing and your chance to win your share of $50,000. Be here on Wednesday, June 10th and 24th from 3 till 6 p.m. when one lucky winner will be drawn every hour to win $5,000 cash. Then at 7 p.m., one winner will take home $5,000 cash plus any unclaimed cash from the previous drawings. Come to where Long Island wins at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Programming alert. Today's Mets-Padres game can be heard on 1050 ESPN at 9 p.m. Game 2 of the NBA Finals can be heard on 880 ESPN New York at 7 p.m. And all games can be streamed on the ESPN New York app.
While the world watches the stars at the FIFA World Cup, Hyundai has its eyes on the next generation of talent. Future stars who are already turning heads at age 14. Because next doesn't wait for an invitation, and neither do we. Hyundai has always moved the future within reach. We did it when we made advanced safety standard on every vehicle and engineered EVs with ultra-fast charging capability. And we're still doing it every day because the future isn't some far-off concept. It's already here. Next starts now. Hyundai, an official partner of FIFA. Rich Eisen here. Running a small business means every hire matters. A bad hire costs time and money, but the right one helps your business grow. The challenge? Finding that person without sorting through resumes. That's where LinkedIn Hiring Pro comes in. It screens candidates so you can focus on conversations with qualified talent. With Hiring Pro, you can hire with confidence and build the team you need. Join the 2.7 million small businesses using LinkedIn to hire. Get started by posting your job for free at linkedin.com/Eisen. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, New York, you need to hear this. This summer, all lines lead to Champs Sports Fan Central Station. It's a soccer pop-up shop open right in the heart of the city at 125 West 33rd Street. This is the soccer destination in New York. Jerseys for every national team you ride with, USA, Mexico, Argentina, Brazil, and way more, all under one roof. If you want to gear up, rep your country, and feel the energy of the city, Champs Sports Fan Central Station. 125 West 33rd, that's where you need to be. Bart and Carlin, ESPN New York. Dan Graca is in for Bart today. Game 2 of the Knicks and the Spurs tonight. He wasn't able to do it at the top of the hour because his computer closed down on him and he lost his script for the Bauer Hour. But he is here right now. The Bauer Hour has been very good to all of us. I think we can agree. And
the way it's like he lost his script.
There is no script per se. There's just notes.
Well, then why didn't you do it earlier?
But somebody's like,
because I lost my notes.
Because I lost my notes.
Hearing
I
this
lost
for
my
the first
outline.
time, and they're
I
like,
lost my bullet points.
How did he lose his script? Like, did the script go walk out of the room?
I also lost my train of thought when you're about to bring me on 2 seconds beforehand. Literally, the computer goes black screen.
Listen,
second time it happened today. I'm not happy.
This is what happens, Tom. You have to count on things going wrong.
That's true.
You know? I had an audition for TV. In the middle of the TV audition one time, they killed the prompter. Prompter's gone. Let's see it, Chunky. How can you go there and ad-lib a little bit through this thing, huh?
How about that?
Imagine
trying
if
to
you Spanish,
respond,
you
Tom. That's what it is.
Spanish and really impressed them.
And how did that audition go?
I paid the bills for 8 years.
Oh, there you go.
Television. I don't know. Hosted a Mets pre- and post-game. I don't know, Tom. You tell me how it went, huh?
I'd like to think they did that on purpose.
They did do it on purpose.
Did you do the?
They wanted to see how I was going to mess up, huh?
What years did you do the Mets?
09 to 13. Prime New York Mets baseball.
Oh, my gosh.
It made me, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this.
Yeah.
It made me hate baseball for a few years.
I trust me. I believe. I know what you're feeling, man. Trust me.
I know.
I remember. Look, obviously, that's why this Knicks run is rewarding. Because when I started doing the games, it was Jeff Hornacek was the coach.
Wow.
So think about those teams. Jeff Hornacek to David Fizdale to
Fizdale.
Mike Miller, the interim coach, to – was there another one after Mike Miller, or did they go Mike Miller to Tibbs?
Now I got to look.
I can't even remember. So,
I do know this, that between 1999 and today, between the Knicks and the Spurs had 2 coaches, and the Knicks had 15.
But, yeah. And one of the guys on the Spurs roster that's a rotational player was
Mike Miller to Tibbs, by the way, to answer your question.
Mike Miller to Tibbs.
Yeah.
One of the guys who's a rotational player for the Spurs was like a G League scrap heap pickup for those bad Knicks teams once upon a time, and his name is Luke Cornett.
And he made the play of the postseason for the Spurs.
I told you, one of these, I have all my stuff like archived. It's like the bottom of a pile of rubble I have to go get. But I'm going to go try to dig up before this finals run is over my like earliest Knicks notebook from doing the games. And I'm going to just sift through it and see some of those names that are going to be jumping off that page. You talk about good times.
Yeah. I'm just...
Where you'd walk around the concourse at Madison Square Garden, in the second half of a game against whatever in February, and the only people you would see, the overwhelming majority of the people you would see in that building are tourists. Out of town tourists who it's on the bucket list. You come to New York, you got to see Madison Square Garden, you got to go to a Knicks game. Not really knowing how good or bad the product actually is.
Joining us tonight on Knicks Tip-Off, Langston Galloway.
Manuel Moutier.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lou Amundsen.
Oh, my gosh. Kuzmingus, whatever his first name was. Remember him?
Oh, my Lord. Oh.
What's the real status of Kristaps Porzingis' injury and his availability?
We lead off the pregame tonight with the status of Pablo Prigioni.
I'll tell you, like those teams, like the best player on the team, because KP was always hurt, was Enes Kanter, believe it or not.
That's right.
Before he changed his name.
Right.
And that's what you had to. That's what you had to live on, a double every night from Enes Kanter.
Remember how disappointing the Cleanthony early era turned into?
Cleanthony early, and then they went Wichita State again and brought in Ron Baker, and that never paid dividends. No, I'm telling you.
I get it.
Alonzo Trier, who was in the starting lineup on opening night that season. What was his nickname? Was it Smoke Trier?
Sure.
No, not Smoke.
Hey, here's Aaron Aflalo.
Remember they had it was like the revolving door of the point guards for those. Frank Ntilikina. Who can forget him?
Who would want to?
But see, if you're a Knicks fan, like you might be like cringing at some of these names, but the bottom line is like now you kind of just like dismiss it and you could laugh about it because you're 3 wins away from a championship.
What was your first year of doing it?
I want to say the 17-18 season, so the fall of 17.
So that's a Jeff Hornacek special with Ron Baker. You had Trey Burke in there.
Trey Burke, night before Thanksgiving in Boston.
Yep.
It was like, for some reason in New York, it was frigid cold. It was like in the teens. Like, don't ask me how, in late November. That was the Trey Burke game. Like, went off that night, and the Knicks beat the Celtics in Boston.
They went out and got Dougie McBuckets.
Dougie was great.
Yep.
Dougie was a good dude.
Kyle O'Quinn. Courtney
Who
Lee.
was the guy from Houston? He might not have been that year. He was from college Houston. He was like I don't know if he was a second-round pick. What was his name?
From Houston?
One of the people they talked up that, he could develop into something. What was his name?
Is that Quentin Grimes?
No, not Quentin Grimes. Quentin Grimes was,
Quentin Grimes is a good player.
This guy was before, years before Grimes, a few years before. Around like that 17, 18, 19.
Is that Damian Dotson?
Damian Dotson.
And bang, right there.
But that's what it was like. It was, you kind of just like try to cling on to the hope that this guy might be a diamond in the rough. This guy might develop into something when you were remember, because then the Knicks were getting spurned by free agents. Nobody, forget about signing here. Nobody even wanted to take a meeting.
Yeah.
So that's all you had to hope for. You had to hope that you could uncover some because remember, the ping pong balls never went your way in the lottery. You had to hope you uncovered some gem that could turn into some all-star type player for you.
Shane Larkin,
Miami, right? Like you, and that's why, we could be a little bit more reflective in a couple of weeks if this thing finishes out the way you want it to. But that's why I never give credit to Tom Thibodeau for putting a stamp on this thing and building it from the ground up.
You know what? I'm glad you said that.
We
should not forget Tom Thibodeau in all of this.
Tom Thibodeau hopefully is going to be Tony Dungy, Buck Showalter, one of those guys that built the program, got them to the certain point, and then somebody else ended up finishing the job. And think back to that summer of 2019 when that tremendous free agent class was out there. KD and Kyrie went to Brooklyn. LeBron wanted no part of them. I can't remember who else was around, but Julius Randle was the guy, the most noteworthy name that said yes and took a chance. Everybody else got one-year deals, the Reggie Bullocks of the world. But Julius, they gave a 2-year deal to. And seriously, give him credit because Tibbs, Randle, they were part of building this thing into something that was even watchable.
They were chanting MVP for Julius Randle at the Garden.
This became a watchable product, which was a step up from what it was.
All right. We got to do the Bauer Hour. Apparently, contractually, we have to do the Bauer Hour now. Bauer's just in my ear and said, hey, Chucky, I'm ready to go.
I got my script.
Script's here. Voice is all warmed up. Let's get to it, huh? I don't know if you know this. Pretty important to the Knicks' success right now, which is accurate. So, without further ado, unleash the awkward. Tom Bauer with the Bauer Hour.
Are you ready again? The Knicks, the Spurs, down in Texas for Game 2 of the NBA Finals. Knicks up 1-0 on the Spurs down in Texas, who's known for their barbecue. The Knicks gonna make barbecue chicken out of the Spurs tonight. Down in San Antonio, they're known for the bats crawling, flying into their arena. The Knicks gonna capture the Spurs' heart and soul with them nets that they capture them bats with. And one more thing about the Knicks. We got money on the line on Bart and Carlin, the Knicks in 6. But don't underestimate the Knicks. They may even close out the series sooner than 6. Some say 5. Some say 4. Break out the brooms, have them ready. The Knicks are going to be up 2-0 coming out of San Antonio.
I have myriad of comments, thoughts. Let me just say
first
this.
is I don't know how we don't secure Tom an endorsement deal for Ricola after doing the Bauer Hour.
You really, that feels like you just ripped your larynx apart.
Yeah.
Number 2, how is it that wasn't on camera, Tom? It's a bad job by you.
Oh, that's...
Tom, you got to make sure you're getting the shine for this. Because I have to say, overall, that was an incredibly awkward yet amazing performance.
Oh, thank you. That's what I do best.
That's what we aim for.
Awkward and amazing.
Yeah, I caught barbecue, even though San Antonio's more Tex-Mex.
I was speaking about the state of Texas.
You said, that's right, he said barbecue.
It's not Memphis, Tom.
You don't think there's good brisket down in San Antonio?
I'm sure there is. It's generally over nachos. But yes.
Exactly. They put it in one of them big old batting helmet things. Or maybe a football helmet in Texas.
Yeah. Well, listen, Tom, it was a well done. I love it. And I cannot imagine what the creative process for your weekend is going to be like for Game 3 on Monday.
Well, we're gonna find out. I'm gonna dish up some more stuff. I'll break out the Rolodex and see what I've got on San Antonio and Texas. And things are coming back to New York, so we might even have some local flair.
Here's the other thing. You're keeping the corn Are You Ready in there, and then you're doubling up on the Are You Ready?
Yeah.
What do you think about that? These are tweaks, Tom. They're not major problems. They're tweaks.
Well, I throw the Are You Ready indeed. I like to repeat the great Jonathan Davis. I got to kind of honor his legacy a little bit.
And I know you're young, but a Rolodex is for phone numbers.
Pretty soon he's going to drop the card catalog.
Let me break out the yellow book for my next foray into this.
Can't wait to pump up the Knicks for Game 3 with the Dewey Decimal System.
The Dewey Decimal System.
What a scam that was. Bart and Carlin.
Oh, we're vamping.
ESPN New York.
The Knicks.
Brunson's open, right corner, three-pointer. It's good! Jalen Brunson puts the Knicks in front with a clutch three-pointer. 1:50 to go. They're up by 2.
The Spurs.
They've won a 12th consecutive playoff game and have stolen Game 1 of the NBA Finals.
The Knicks are 3 wins away. NBA Finals Game 2 coverage gets underway tonight at 7 on 880 and the ESPN New York app.
Knicks fans, it's time to hit the court with BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the New York Knicks. Download the BetMGM app today and add a boost of excitement to every New York game day with same-day parlays, live betting options, player props, boosted odds specials, and the best daily promotions in the business. With the BetMGM app at your fingertips, you can experience the excitement of betting on your favorite players and get in on all the blue and orange action as your New York Knicks drive the lane. Find out why basketball fans love BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the New York Knicks. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Gambling problem in New York? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Partner with Amazon Hub Delivery to earn extra revenue for your business with your business. Assist with local Amazon deliveries and get paid for each package you deliver. When you become a partner, you and your staff will deliver packages to customers in your area on a schedule that works for you. You'll gain extra revenue, increase exposure for your business, and connect with your neighbors. Plus, it's easy to get started with no delivery experience, long-term contracts, or startup costs required. If you're interested in learning more, visit Amazon.com/Hub Delivery. That's Amazon.com/HUB Delivery.
Hey, New York and New Jersey, Boost Mobile has an unlimited talk, text, and data plan that's only $25 a month forever. Meaning you'll only ever pay $25 a month for the rest of your life. Who wouldn't want unlimited wireless when it only costs $25 a month forever? If you don't, you must be one of those people who enjoy overpaying for their phone plan. $25 a month forever is truly as good as it gets. So go online and switch now at boostmobile.com. After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan.
Monkey Sports, built by players for players, is your one-stop shop for hockey, baseball, lacrosse, and more. Find top-name equipment and expert in-store services like sharpening, break-ins, and relacing. Shop in-store at Monkey Sports in Farmingdale or Woodbridge or online for all the top brands. Whatever your sports, Monkey Sports gets you game ready fast. Monkey Sports, where athletes shop.
Okay, team. Huddle up.
Why are you dressed like a hockey player?
Because America's energy security is on thin ice. We're facing an overburdened electric grid, rising fuel costs, and severe weather. But here's your power play. Propane. It's affordable, abundant, safe. Propane is reliable energy, even when the grid isn't. Advantage Propane.
Learn more at propane.com/powerplay.
Less than 4 in 10 kids aged 6 through 12 are playing sports regularly. 4 in 10 kids? Let it sink in. Just 4 in 10 kids. ESPN is building a nationwide coalition powered by Disney called Take Back Sports, with the purpose of training more coaches, expanding access, and creating community-driven sports programming that puts kids and fun first. We're working on that story. We hope you'll join us.
Visit takebacksports.org to learn more.
Programming alert. Today's Mets-Padres game can be heard on 1050 ESPN at 9 p.m. Game 2 of the NBA Finals can be heard on 880 ESPN New York at 7 p.m. And all games can be streamed on the ESPN New York app.
Two, three, four. Just got paid.
Friday night. Party jumping. Feel alright. Booty shaking. Dance to the beat. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That wasn't awkward at all. That's what we do best here.
Not bad, just atrocious. That's as bad as it can be.
We made it work.
Listen, I think it's about as good as we're going to get without our big toe here, without our captain here to do it. Because the ad lib on his part in this every Friday is amazing. So I hope we didn't let down the audience too much. But nonetheless, I gave it what I had. And I know I can say the same for you. Fair?
Yeah, absolutely.
Fair.
And it's difficult because we're in different places, but, we made it work. And I think that, bottom line, the effort's there. The effort was there. The enthusiasm, it was genuine. And I think that's what the people care about.
I'm not in the excuse business. But I guess if this was game one, I guess what I would say coming out of it is I'm not worried. I still feel like I'm the better team.
Real quick. So if I could inject some tennis into the conversation real quick. It's been a wild and crazy, unpredictable French Open. Like injuries, upsets. It's, there's going to be a first-time Grand Slam champion for both the men's and the women's side. Today's men's semifinal day, or at least was supposed to. We got one match in, and isn't it appropriate for this tournament in particular that the second semifinal is not even going to be played because one of the two guys had to withdraw due to a viral illness. And I'm watching on TNT, the guy's there, he's doing media. He's doing a press conference, sitting there, but he can't play the match because he's sick.
Oof. I'm sorry, I blacked out there when you said tennis, but yeah.
I figured. Yeah.
But yeah, nonetheless, you're still going to do the media?
Yeah.
Even though you bailed?
If I couldn't play, I'd be like, I'm not showing up. No,
I'm done. I'm on the plane. I'm going home.
Or at least I'll rest until I feel better. I'll stay bunkered in at the Charles de Gaulle Marriott that they have there, probably in Paris.
Lay off the steak frites, apparently.
Lay off the steak frites. This is one of those where you issue just a generic statement to a pool reporter. Right?
I was feeling under the weather. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, it's not exactly your feel-good moment of the week, but we now have a feel-good moment of the week.
Every Friday with Bart and Carlin, we highlight the feel-good moment of the week. Presented by the Samwell Institute for Pain Management.
That's right. And we all know what the feel-good moment of the week is. That was game one, with the Knicks going up 1-0 in the NBA Finals against the San Antonio Spurs, but they've got a shot tonight to make it an even more interesting scenario if they can go up 2-0 and put the Spurs really in a squeeze box coming to New York next week. That's going to be interesting. I really feel good about the Knicks' chances tonight. I honestly think that still being taken for granted a little bit, and the way they have played, you have to start believing in who they are.
1,000%. And you and I, we're going to be at the thing tonight, which we can't wait to see everybody out there. I think they'll take care of business tonight. And then when you and I are doing this again on Monday, what's the conversation going to be like going into Game 3 at that madhouse on 33rd Street? What are we going to be talking about Monday if they finish the job tonight?
I mean, no matter what, it's going to be an absolute zoo Monday night.
Oh.
No matter what happens, because they've already gotten one. Not that it wouldn't have been anyway, down 2-0 to none, but up 2-0. That'll be an impossible spot for the Spurs.
You know what the talk's going to be? If they win tonight, the talk on Monday is going to be, have the Knicks just made their last trip to San Antonio? Like they might not be going back.
No, I think there's a very good chance they wouldn't be going back if they won tonight. Anyway, With all of that, that was your feel-good moment of the week, brought to you by Samwell Institute for Pain Management. For a pain-free life, visit SamwellPain.com. All right, a couple of things of note. Number one, Dan alluded to right there. Tonight, Dan and I are down at Monmouth Park at Caesars Sportsbook for an exclusive Knicks Finals watch party with fans. Now, here's the deal. We got wall-to-wall screens. We got Kurt Thomas. We got John Wallace. We got an official Knicks playoff T-shirt. You get the one that they're getting Monday night, but you get it 2 days in advance tonight. Yep. And the first 100 fans will also receive a Shack burger for free along with fries. If you stay until halftime, you could win a pair of 100-level tickets to Game 3 at Madison Square Garden. Now, the event is open to Caesars Sportsbook customers only, but what does that mean? All you got to do is sign up now, download the app, sign up, and you get entry to the event. Doors open at 7. Get there early because space is limited. To learn more, visit Caesars.com/Knicks Finals. And remember, got to be 21 or older to gamble. I'm going to sneeze, Dan.
Uh-oh. Gesundheit.
There we go.
There you go.
Hit the old sneeze button I got back here. It's marked sneeze. Anyway, got to be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Tried to talk myself through that sneeze, and it just wasn't happening. I've been able to do it before, but not that time. It's unfortunate.
You pulled it off.
You ever talk yourself through a sneeze?
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes, and you think you didn't even know you were capable of doing such things.
Yeah, I know.
Superhuman.
Exactly. Well, it is a superpower. And then the Mets Knicks coverage programming alert. Want to remind you, tonight, Mets-Padres game going to be heard on 1050 ESPN. Pregame beginning at 9. Game 2 of the finals. Knicks-Spurs heard on 880 ESPN New York. Tip-off 8:30. Pregame starting 7 p.m. That is right after Don Hahn and Rosenberg live from Stout, NYC on 33rd Street. All the games can be streamed on the ESPN New York app. They going up 2-0 tonight or no?
Absolutely, and you and I are going to be there to chronicle it as well.
We will see you later on this evening at Caesars down at Monmouth Park. Bart and Carlin, he's Grassa, I'm Carlin. The Michael Kay Show is next on ESPN New York.
Friday with Don Hahn and Rosenberg. The show is back at Stout, NYC ahead of Game 2 of the NBA Finals. Don and Alan discuss what the Knicks need to do to take a 2-0 series lead.
I just think it's 0-0. And the next game is the most important game of the year. We step on that court, it should be the same determination, desperation, energy level, and physicality needed.
Don Hahn and Rosenberg live from Stout, NYC at 3 o'clock on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
No matter your age or career stage, SUNY Canton delivers education at the speed of life. With flexible, fully online degree programs, you can earn your credential on your schedule. Ready to get started? Apply now for a summer start in high